FPL managers, welcome to Scoutcast Matchday. We are taking you through. I've got some problems with my speakers, but as long as you guys can hear me,
we can hear you fine. We can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. This is the first of what will be only 2 technical difficulties we have.
There'll be so many more than that, you know.
There's going to be so many. There's going to be so many. First of all, guys, I just want to see who your captain is and how are you. So, Lee Bonnefield, over to you. Who's your captain this week?
Well, first of all, I'm doing very well. Thank you, Gianni. There's no technical issues over here yet, although I'm sure I'll have some at some stage. Captain for me is Jesus. So given the team news from the Etihad tonight and the players they've got on the bench, there will be some very, very unhappy FPL managers out there tonight. But Jesus starts. He's my captain. It was my transfer in this week as well. So, big points for Jesus, hopefully.
Who did you bring him in for, Lee?
Vardy. So I had Vardy for 1 week, got me a few points. Probably should have not made that transfer from Jimenez a week ago. But yeah, Vardy straight back out and Jesus in because I did fancy Jesus for the start more than the others.
Yeah, I did the same. I brought in Jesus for Jimenez. Guys, I've figured out what was wrong with my speakers. So I loaded the YouTube page so I can read your comments. And I had all the YouTube ads coming in my ears. I hadn't muted it. So glad you couldn't hear that. But that was very confusing. Toby, you're going to be keeping an eye on Newcastle Spurs tonight. You're at St James's. Who is your FPL captain and how are you feeling about the game week?
I'm feeling pretty terrible. I'm one of those lucky people that has 3 Man City players all on the bench, De Bruyne, Sterling and Mahrez. It's a painful one. I'm still hopeful that we'll see all 3 of them at some point throughout the night. But nonetheless, it's a hard one to take, especially since I've captained Sterling as well. So, yeah, I'm hoping for big things off the bench today, but not holding my breath.
Toby, it serves you right. Talk everybody through your transfer for this week. It is the most boring transfer I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's a very boring transfer, but I think that's testament to how good my team is. That's all I needed. It was Simpson to Lamptey. So basically, I've got Aurier in my team.
You know how to live, Toby. You know how to live.
I've got Aurier in my team, and I strongly suspected that he wouldn't play for the rest of the season, given the terrible news about his brother.
Yeah.
But he starts tonight, which is a surprise. But I bought in Lamptey because I don't have anyone else to fill in if Aurier didn't play. But actually, another spanner in the works. Doherty's been benched tonight as well. So I'm looking a little light at the back.
Good job, you got Lamptey.
Yeah.
Good job, yeah. Transfer vindicated, yeah.
Out of position Lamptey as well, potentially. So, Andy, you're on the big one tonight, and we'll all be having, of course, an eye on Man City. Who's your game week captain, and how are you feeling about it?
I'm going for the guy that plays false 9 every single week, Jesus. There's all this, false 9 that, and Jesus just starts every single week. Does get rested, does get his minutes managed, of course, but yeah, pretty happy that I've got De Bruyne and Mahrez as well, so that's not great, but to be honest, we all knew this could happen, and we just roll with it. I could have swapped one of those 2 to Pulisic, but I decided to just go with legs off the bench, basically, for the last 30 against Bournemouth, and so far the decision looks quite good, but I guess let's see what happens. Let's not forget, quickly, Sterling got 10 points the last time this happened against Newcastle.
Yeah,
came on,
absolutely.
double figure haul, happy days. He beat everyone else.
The saving grace as well is when you see your City players bench, you kind of look forward to the next game where you're thinking, right, they've got a pretty damn good chance of starting the next one. So it's not all doom and gloom.
So guys, if you are just joining us, I'm hoping you're going to be with us for the next couple of hours. We've of course got 3 live games tonight. So we've got Burnley Wolves, City Bournemouth, and then Newcastle Spurs. So we'll be giving updates on all of them. Of course, we're only speaking FPL. I'm guessing many of you guys are going to be at home watching the TV, hopefully on mute and listening to us. So do get your questions in at half time as well. But before we start, we're going to start a little look at the teams because, of course, many of you would have heard there's been some big casualties tonight. It's been a lot of rotation, especially in the City team. The big names to miss out, they're all on the bench. They probably will all come on. KDB, Mahrez, Sterling. Doherty misses out for Wolves. He's on the bench. Aurier starts for Spurs. Andy, do you want to take us through the teams in more detail?
Yeah, well, I'll do the Man City team first, like you said. So De Bruyne, Sterling and Mahrez missing out is huge. It does look like they're pretty much the only attackers on the bench. I don't know where Tommy Doyle plays. I think he might be a midfielder, right? So he could come on, but otherwise they are really the only known attackers on the bench. So I'm fully expecting them to get 20 or 30 minutes tonight. And there is a quote actually from Pep that Fantasy Football Scout just tweeted. He said a little bit of this selection is because some of the players are going to play on Saturday, but every game since lockdown, I've rotated 5 or 6 players. So it's obviously something he's going to keep doing. So defensive-wise, it's Walker, Stones, Otamendi, Mendy. So again, Stones and Otamendi will get I'm sure they will get rotated next time for Garcia and Laporte. So that's going to be a couple of the changes every single week. So yeah, Jesus up front. The other two to join him in the front three are Foden and Bernardo Silva, and then it's Fernandinho, Gundogan, and David Silva in the middle. And then the Bournemouth team they're facing, who we're all expecting to get rolled over, even though they've only conceded once in the last two. Looks pretty similar. Obviously, Ake misses out, so it's Cook and Kelly in the middle, Rico and Stacey left and right fullbacks. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah. Billing, Lerma, and Gosling. Then they got three up front: Stanislas, Solanke. Solanke just can't stop scoring at the moment, and Josh King on the left. So no, Callum Wilson's actually on the bench for this one. That's a bit, I don't know. I'm not sure why that's happening. He looked pretty good, but yeah. Do you guys want to take us through your match lineups, or do you want me to just do them?
Yeah, no, good shout. So Lee, if you give us the Burnley and Wolves sort of headline news and lineups, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, interesting to see Mendy starting again tonight, Andy. I don't know whether, given that Man City have got a pretty nice run in, I think Watford and Norwich last two, isn't it? Wonder whether he might be a nice differential, given he's got a couple of starts under his belt now. Burnley and Wolves, though, not too much to surprise you from the Burnley lineup. So I've got Charlie Taylor in my team. Very happy to see him playing. Pope as well in goal. I know a lot of the FPL managers out there will have Nick Pope. A few people going for maybe Tarkowski, Peters as well. Maybe even slightly out of position, maybe Peters. Who knows? But up front, Wood, McNeil, Rodriguez, J-Rod with at least a couple of goals and a couple of assists, I think, since the restart. So of the form players in that attacking front line for Burnley, he's the one to have a look at. Not too much to shout about on the bench. Vidra's there as an option. Goodmanson, who came on and smashed one against the bar last game, but looked to be too many other options on the bench. So no real big news from Burnley, but Wolves, yes, the big news is that Doherty is benched. Now, it's interesting that Daniel Podense is playing for Wolves. He was very, very good last game out, looked really, really good, and caused all sorts of problems. So I'm kind of not surprised to see him coming in, but let's see what sort of shape Nuno Espirito Santo setting up for her. He's got Bolly, Cody, and Saiz. He's obviously going for that back three there. Connor Cody, who started every minute in the Premier League since they were promoted a couple of seasons back, by the way, hasn't missed a single minute of Premier League football. Traore's playing, but I would expect potentially him and maybe Vinagre to play in a slightly, if I'm reading this team right, maybe those guys will play a sort of bombing on wing backs. Jimenez and Hotter up front with Podense, this sort of wild card in the middle there with Yao, Matinho and Neves. It's an interesting looking team from Nuno Espirito Santo. The one thing to say is that actually Burnley, we know what they're like at home. Very, very hard to beat, very hard to break down. And if there's anybody in the live chat that's got Jimenez and Pope in their FPL team, I want to know what side of that you're going to come out on and where you're looking to get the FPL points, because there will be some managers that will be, I don't know, maybe bittersweet if Jimenez scores tonight.
Yeah, I'm really interested to know how Burnley get on up front, because we always think with Burnley defenders as sort of the FPL go-to. But their next two fixtures, I think, are Norwich and Brighton.
Yeah.
So, maybe a punt on a Chris Wood.
I'm eyeing them up.
Chris Wood just coming back to fitness. Are you, Andy?
As it stands right now, and I will say this as a caveat, things change in FPL very, very quickly. But right now, my transfer in next week will be Chris Wood, J-Rod, or McNeil right now.
Wow.
Just because of that. Just because of how the team's lined up. So I'm going to bet, my plan currently is to bench Antonio against Man United, play whichever one of the Burnley boys I bring in, and then bench them for Brighton. So that's currently the plan, which sounds extremely boring when there's only 2 weeks left and I'm ranked 160k.
That'll all change in an hour from now, Andy. That'll all change.
Mo Salah might be coming back as well. We'll see.
That's it.
Oh, you've got to have Salah for the last game week. Tobes, okay, you're on Newcastle Spurs, where I think it's just about to kick off. Team news from
right.
there.
Yeah, that's right. Just about to kick off. Spurs are unchanged, actually, which is a bit of a surprise given that they've played quite a few games in quite a short space of time. The big one that people were probably worried about from an FPL point of view, Aurier starts at right back. Son and Kane up front. It looks to me, very early days, it looks to me like they're playing a 4-4-2 again, which will probably be music to Son and Kane owner ears. They looked a lot more threatening against Arsenal playing that formation versus, looking a little bit more stodgy prior to that. Newcastle, I believe, have made 3 changes. FPL point of view, I think Lascelles is out injured, and I think in come Bentaleb. Danny Rose is, of course, ineligible against his parent club. Manquillo drops to the bench as well. So we've got Kraft, Yedlin, and Bentaleb coming in for those 3. Bentaleb, of course, also playing against his former club, so expect a goal or something outrageous from Nabil Bentaleb.
Good stuff. And obviously, the games are underway now, so we're a minute into the game at the Etihad too. So we will be keeping up to date with all of the scores. Just to confirm, guys, because we're going to be here. I'm expecting quite a few screams tonight if City do well. Lee, your captain is Jesus. Tobes, yours is Sterling. Andy, you've got Jesus captain as well. So really big night for the Jesus captainers. And of course, if and when Sterling comes on, Toby, you'll be on the edge of your seat. I captain Pulisic. I, however, do own Jesus, Foden, and KDB. So it could be a huge night for many FPL managers. And I'm sure you're all sitting there hoping we're going to see goals galore at the Etihad.
What did you make, Gianni, of the Chelsea performance yesterday? A bit lacklustre, but got the job done.
Yeah, do you know what? I was quite happy with it. It was refreshing to see a clean sheet. And Norwich, obviously it's Norwich, but Norwich didn't even look like scoring. And that was quite nice because as a Chelsea fan, we just look like we're going to concede it against.
They've not looked like scoring against anyone, Gianni. I wouldn't chalk that up as a win.
I know. It's the little margins, isn't it? I thought Pulisic looked great as always, and I'm liking his partnership with Giroud. I think we're going to see a lot of Pulisic off Giroud, especially when Alonso plays, because Alonso gets so much further forward than whoever's at right back. It means Pulisic doesn't drift into that channel. He cuts inside a lot. So whilst William will give.
Sorry, I was going to say, is that set for the rest of the season, do you think? Alonso getting starts?
I don't know. How long is a piece of string on that one? I mean, Alonso often comes into the team, plays well for a game, and then makes an error and then goes out.
Alonso was perfect for that game because there was no need to defend, so he could just stand in the box. Yeah. Like against Liverpool, you have Alonso. Mo Salah is going to rip him apart, I think. So for me, I think he was the perfect free hit choice. But going forward, I'm not so sure. Obviously, you'd know more than me, but they literally just had him camped out in the box. He didn't need to defend, did he, at all against Norwich?
No, he didn't. And you're right. One player that we know will always start for Chelsea is Azpilicueta. So he will come in at left back or right back. We've had an Ederson comfortable save already at the Etihad. And Andy, talk us through, if you can see it, the Man City counter-attack. They came very close to scoring and Jesus was heavily involved.
I'm literally just watching it now. He's literally got the ball straight up the pitch. I mean, Ederson's delivery is insane. There's quite a few players back, though. Jesus on the ball in the box. Oh, he's played it through, I think that was David Silva, maybe, but it's gone past him.
It was David Silva.
Yeah. Close. Obviously, it's all been Man City apart from that tiny bit there from Bournemouth, but there's only been a couple of minutes so far. But it's going to be the same. It feels like Man City's on every time we do these. Early goal happens, and this is just going to be another 4 or 5-0. There's just nothing else that's going to happen here, I don't think.
Ederson's delivery. Ederson's delivery is just next level, isn't it? The distribution is just he's levels above. Oh, St. Maximin looks like he might be down, holding his hamstring. Might be. Who's at Newcastle? We've got Lee.
That's me.
Toby.
No, that's Toby.
That's me. I haven't got there yet, mate. I'm probably about 30 seconds behind. He took a bit of a knock early on, which he's kind of hobbling around a little bit. I'm not sure if it was a tackle subsequently that followed that.
No, that's the one. He's fine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, he looks fine now. I was going to ask you boys a question put to you. So, based on what you know now with the Man City team, who would your captain be on if you owned?
David Silva scored. David Silva scored. It's a free kick, and he scored already. Yes, David Silva.
David Silva went down as well. I've seen that. I've not seen the goal yet. So it's a Silva,
fair play.
No assist.
Fair play if you went for it. I mean, he was a lot of people's pick this week, so they knew he would start. I don't know if any of you considered. I briefly considered it, but I just thought I'd keep my boys for the next game. No assist yet, David Silva. I've not seen the free kick yet, but everyone's telling me the same. So yeah, job done.
How many minutes is that though, Andy? 6 minutes and they've scored already.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. That's what I mean. It's going to be another 4 or 5-0. Yeah, it's going to be
a worldy free kick. It's a worldy free up and down, like 20 yards out to still.
It's going to be such a loss, isn't he? Such a loss to the Premier League when he goes. He's still one of the best players in the league. He really is.
Yeah, he's too good to go to. I don't know. Back to Valencia. There's talk there, but potentially the States. I feel like I'd love to see him in the Prem.
Perfect free kick, wasn't it? It's about as far into the corner as it could have been. Job done. So it's just too easy for him.
Okay, so what does this do for our thoughts on Sterling, KDB coming on? If City are 3-0 up at half-time, 4-0 up, does Pep still want to give them half an hour to keep their legs fresh because he wants to get them some action before the cup final? Or will he go miss out completely and don't risk being injured for such a big game? What's your take on that, Lee?
I would say that he will probably keep them on the bench. I think you might see Sterling for a little bit, but I don't think we'll see anybody like Kevin De Bruyne. He knows, Pep knows, we all know that Kevin De Bruyne is so important to this side, and he's not going to want to risk him if they're 2-3-4-0 up against Bournemouth just for the sake of a bit of rhythm. I feel like they're already quite in their rhythm. They're playing a couple of games a week, have been up to now, so it's not as if not as if by missing out tonight they're gonna step out of that rhythm. I don't think so. I would be surprised to see some of the key players like Sterling and De Bruyne if it becomes a rout, if it becomes 2-3-0 as we expect.
Andy, what do you reckon? Will we see one or two, or will we see? Do you think we could see Mahrez, Silva, and KDB all coming on? Is it dependent on how the game's going, or will Pep have a set plan?
Yeah, I feel like he'd probably have a set plan. Bring a few of them off at 60 minutes because it's not like the players on the pitch are not going to play in that FA Cup match either. Obviously, De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Sterling, we know they're all going to feature, but at least another 3 or 4 of these in the attack are going to have to play as well. So I think it'll be same as I think Jesus 100% and be off around 60 minutes. Who's going to play that false 9 position? Bernardo Silva will be on the pitch, but you could quite easily bring on Sterling to do it. I expect them all to come on. I just think it's just been his plan the whole time. Get him off at 60, give him a little bit of a run out next game. Job done. I think they'll all come on. Maybe that's just hopeful because I own 2 of them, but that's where my money would go, I would say.
The one I'm not 100% sure on is KDB. I think Sterling might, and I think Mahrez might, but I think KDB could be rested with David Silva playing because David Silva and KDB can play a similar sort of game. He doesn't necessarily need both. Go on, Toby. Sorry, what were you saying?
I've completely forgotten what I was about to say because John Joe Shelby's just nearly popped one in the top corner from 40 yards from a free kick. Fortunately, as a Spurs fan, it didn't go in. But actually, got to say, Newcastle have been looking good. Almiron's had a couple of quite good chances in the opening exchanges. Here comes Spurs though. Lo Celso with a good chance. Ooh, just gone wide out for a corner. But yeah, it's a pretty even start actually.
Toes, before that free kick, I saw a really well-worked corner routine from Spurs. I don't know, someone blazed over from about 8 to 10 yards, but it was a free shot. Newcastle have started quite well.
Yeah, Newcastle have started well. As I say, Almiron's looking lively. He was, to be honest with you, he was about 12 yards out with a free shot at goal, and he's absolutely spooned it over the bar. Not very good marking from Spurs at all. Arguably should be 1-0 up, but it remains 0-0.
Have we got any St. Maximum owners here in the group? No, I'm guessing
not me.
Sam's got him. That's the only person I know actually.
Sam brought him in at the right time as well, didn't she? She had him for was it Newcastle Bournemouth? We were on this show a couple of weeks ago and
3 assists, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It was your game. Andy, at the Etihad, looks like Bournemouth have had a sniff.
Yeah, I think I'm just about. Wow, let's have a look. Oh, I don't know. Unless that's something that I'm about to see. It's maybe a corner now. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
No, it's not even that happening. Ball came in, but one of the defenders just kicked it away and it hit the Bournemouth player on the way out. So it's just gone out for a goal kick. And unless I'm that far behind, it doesn't look like there's.
No, that sounds about right. In terms of the lineup at City, is Foden playing in the Sterling role on the left and Bilva playing on the right side of Jesus? So Bilva is playing front 3 rather than midfield 3.
It looks like that, but I've seen Jesus already a few times on that right side. But I guess he's just drifted in and out as needed on the counter and stuff. But yeah, it looks to be that way, which is I think is what a lot of people predicted. To be honest, I think most people thought that Foden would start and that one of Mahrez or Sterling would miss out. Turns out it's both of them. But yeah, it looks that way so far.
Really intrigued to see how Bernardo Silva gets on because last season he was so good. He was one of the first names on the team sheet, and this season we've seen Mahrez play a lot more, especially in the last few months. And then I'm looking at Bernardo's position and thinking, does Pep see him as a midfield 3 or does he see him as a front 3? And recently, since lockdown, all of his games pretty much have been in the midfield 3. But tonight it looks like he's playing in the front 3. So I've always thought Bernardo Silva would be a like-for-like replacement for David Silva, which is, of course, the midfield 3. So interesting to see how that goes. Action there for Wolves?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Wolves have come out full of attacking intent in this game. I mean, Burnley, we know how good they are defensively, but going to have their work cut out against this Wolves side tonight. Honestly, they've come out bit between the teeth. He's playing that 3-5-2 as we thought he would. The strategy seems to be get the ball wide to try and raise it. I mean, they've got Podence come in and breaking from deep, but they're looking to get Traore on the ball as much as possible. To be fair to Dwight McNeil, he's doing a good job covering over there and doubling up on Traore, and they're cutting out the cross 8 or 9 times out of 10 at the moment. However, when he does get free, we know what he's like with his delivery, Traore, and he's just put one right on Jimenez's head, but it does go straight at Nick Pope. So it's the first real sniff they've had of goal, but the intent and the way this game is going, it's Wolves on the attack. It's attack versus defence for most of the first 10 minutes.
I'll tell you. Go on.
Adama's positioning is just like, no matter where he plays, he'll still link up with Jimenez, right? Like today he's playing wing back. We've seen him playing in a front two. We've seen him playing on the right wing. He still just seems to always find Jimenez wherever he plays.
Well, I think what's happening in this game so far is that he's keeping both, Dwight McNeil and the fullback busy. So despite the fact he's supposed to be wing back and maybe playing a bit more defensive, he ain't. He doesn't know really how to do that. So he's bombing forward and he's keeping the Burnley boys very, very busy down that side. And it's actually, I think it is, who's the centre half on that side? Is it Saiss? Don't know. Whoever the centre half is, he's kind of coming over and that back three is kind of spreading itself a bit wider. So over the longer term, as this game goes on, you might find some space there in between the lines and in between the centre halves there for the likes of Jay Rodriguez or Chris Wood. But right now, it is Wolves all over Burnley from an attacking perspective. They've had 3 or 4 corners already. Moutinho with some average deliveries from corners so far, but it's clear that the strategy is get the ball to Traore. He's the danger man.
Well, I noticed a couple. I think Jan, you got rid of Jimenez this week. I think Andy, you did the same. I've kept Jimenez. What was your thought process behind getting rid of Jimenez? He's got a couple of reasonable fixtures, right? I think the last one against Chelsea is tough. This one and the next one aren't bad.
I actually looked at it differently from an attacking sense. I actually thought this one was the worst one. I actually thought Chelsea, from a defensive point of view, probably would be a bit easier than Burnley. I mean, Gianni might disagree with that.
I'm with you.
But for him,
I sold him too, yeah, and I'm with you there.
Yeah, and I thought this one was the toughest, and actually Crystal Palace and Chelsea might be okay, but I'm not expecting them to score so many goals that it kind of hurts me, and I've just got Danny Ings in instead. Yeah. And Danny Ings has 3 really good fixtures, and I've just been impressed with Southampton since the restart. They were really good again against Man United. Obviously, Ings didn't get anything, but on another day he might have.
Weren't they?
Yeah,
they were so good. Really impressed with them.
So it wasn't really. If I had other transfers still, I probably would have kept Jimenez, but I had a free transfer, so I just got rid of him. I agree. If people wanted to keep him, I didn't think it was that bad an idea, to be honest.
Yeah, I was surprised everyone was selling him en masse a week ago. I kept him for that week and fortunately got a return, but just thought I needed a third City cover. I needed City cover. I think we should all have 3 City attacking assets now, or be very close to having 3. Definitely the double up. But I wanted the third, and Jesus was just the obvious pick. So yeah, Jimenez with a heavy heart, I had to sell him. So hoping he doesn't bang tonight. But I'm with you, Andy. I think the Burnley fixture is the toughest of the 3. The Chelsea backline, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jimenez score. But he's also not a captain shout. Another part of my thinking to get rid. You bring in someone like Jesus for Jimenez, you've got another captain, potential captain. You're never going to give the armband to Jimenez. I mean, we've done that all. I'm sure I did it a few weeks back and it stung me. But the ceiling's just never that high, as we've spoken about before. Toby, looks like St. Maximan's sort of pretty lively. Had a shot from range, it went wide, but Newcastle seemed like the better team.
Yeah, they just had a brilliant run, St. Maximin. He picked the ball up on the halfway line, absolutely burned Aurier, played a really nice little ball round Lo Celso, which put Lo Celso on his arse, caught the ball up, but then he had a bit of a lazy shot at the end of it. He's looking really lively, and to be honest with you, Newcastle are bossing the game. I think the stat just came up. They've got about 65% possession. Spurs don't look very comfortable in this formation. It worked a treat against Arsenal. They had a real game plan, but at the moment they look a little bit all over the place formation-wise. They just haven't got a grip on the game at all. So yeah, Newcastle are bossing it. Could have been at least a goal up.
Where's Son playing,
Toby?
Yeah, how's Son and Kane? Is it a front 2?
So it started off as a front 2. Son now has just drifted out to the left-hand side a little bit, back to kind of where he was 2, 3, 4 game weeks ago. I think it's going to be fluid though. He's sort of drifting inside. He's going outside when we haven't got the ball. But yeah, I mean, looking at it now, Kane and Son are playing up front. It is a 4-4-2. I think when we've got the ball, when we haven't, Son's reverting out to the left wing a little bit. But yeah, if you're owning Son at the moment, don't be too concerned. He is still playing through the middle largely.
Yeah, and Andy, things at the Etihad. Any sign of a second goal for City? Obviously, scoring the early goal. Are they going for blood here?
Not really, to be honest. Not from what I've seen. It's actually been quite even, I would say. I'll tell you one thing Bournemouth are doing at times is they're pressing Man City really high, a bit like how Southampton set out against Man United, which, if it works, is all well and good, but Man City would take advantage of that much better than Man United did, I would say. So it'd be interesting to see how often they do that. They're not doing it the whole time, but I've seen them like on a goal kick a minute ago. They were pressed right up into the box, which is a bit of a worry for, well, maybe not a worry for City, but if a worry for Bournemouth, if anything. But yeah, nothing much really happened for Man City since. Bournemouth, they're doing okay, to be honest. They're not really getting trodden on.
Great chance for Shelby. Just a really good play by Matt Ritchie. Put a beautiful ball in. And John Joe Shelby's missed a free header about 7 yards out, put it over the bar. Really should have done better. Newcastle all over Spurs here.
Wow, John Joe Shelby does very well when we're on Scoutcast Matchday, guys. I don't know if you remember a few weeks back when Newcastle scored a fair few against Bournemouth. Lee was on the game. I think, Lee, you described Shelby as Iniesta-esque.
That was more to do with Bournemouth's performance than his performance, but yes, you're right.
It's okay. Tonight, I've already compared, before we went on air, I mentioned that Podence at Wolves, who starts tonight, 4.9 million. I likened him to Hazard in his running style only, I might add.
He's looked all right today, Gianni, by the way.
Yeah?
He started the game where he looks lively. Good battle between him and Dwight McNeil. I think I said about Dwight McNeil and Traore being a good battle. It feels like Dwight McNeil's battling them all on that side, but Podence is kind of breaking from deep. He's the foil, really. Whenever they go wide to Traore, he kind of breaks from deep as the foil. So yeah, he started all right. I think he had a fantastic game last time out. Who did they play at the weekend? They played, can't remember who they played last game, but he looked very, very good indeed. And
Everton,
carrying on where he left off against Everton, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad you've reiterated it a few times. Podence, I'm saying it wrong, I imagine. Is there an accent on the E?
Am I saying it right? I don't
Podence.
know.
I always say Podence. I'm not sure.
Is there an accent on the E? I'm going to look it up now, because if there is an accent on the E from a bloke that is half Italian and doesn't speak a word of the language and still supports the team despite wearing the Brazil shirt, I have an accent on my name and I don't pronounce it, but really should. So I'm gonna just confirm. I'm looking at the Wolves player list now. I might have to get back to you because my internet's quite slow. But yeah, we'll go with Podence. He just sounds like a better player, doesn't he? More of a baller if he's Podence over Podence.
Just seeing a stat on Twitter, guys. You were talking about Edison and his distribution, his pass completion. So Duncan Alexander is a friend of the FPL community at Oily Sailor on Twitter. He's just posted a stat. He's saying Edison's pass completion rate of 87% this season is better than any City player managed in 03-04, 04-05, 5-6, 6-7, and 7-8. I mean, this guy's absolutely incredible, isn't he?
He could play midfield, couldn't he? I'd love to see it just for one game. Play him, play him DM. Put him on all set pieces.
Pep talks about giving him a penalty, doesn't he? He said he's one of the better penalty takers in the team. That got a few FPL managers' heart rates going, I think, a few months ago.
He's usually good value for an assist each season, isn't he?
Yeah.
Back to Podence, yeah. Annoyingly, there's no accent on the E, so I might have to revert back. But maybe for Scoutcast Matchday, he will just remain Podence.
I'm pretty sure in the live chat now, people will be saying it's Podence or Podence. Get in the live chat. Tell us
Podence, they're saying. Podence.
Podence. Okay.
Right.
And
Traore's
got the accent on the A, hence the thinking behind Podence. Traore, same ending, but yeah, one is the accent. Damn. Tobes, are we getting from the Spurs lineup and seeing how they're playing with Son and Kane down the middle and how successful it was against Arsenal? Because loads of FPL managers were saw Son's 13 points or whatever he got and thought, should we be considering him? How do his performances change in this lineup? Playing in the front two must really suit his potential returns and probably takes a little bit away from Kane.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Son's actually a bit of a kind of secret weapon. I think for me at the moment, I've got Son in my team. I think he's only 6% owned. Oh, sorry, Dwight Gale's nearly in there. And when he's playing through the middle, he's probably a really good value for 9.6 million. I think where he has been playing a few game weeks ago under this kind of new Mourinho system, he was out wide on the left, and I think he is so much less effective from an FPL point of view when he's out there. But this is the thing at the moment. I don't think Mourinho knows who his best team. He probably doesn't know the personnel of his best team. I don't think he knows his best formation. I think he's got a lot of players in the team that won't be there next year, that don't play the type of football that he wants to play. I think you've got a lot of kind of square pegs in round holes, and Son really is that when he plays on the left. I think if you actually sat Mourinho down, he'd tell you that, yeah, he wants to play Son through the middle. But personnel isn't allowing him to do that. But yeah, he's played there the last 2 games, and Son and Kane are starting to link up a little bit better now. Had a good little exchange just a minute ago. Lo Celso cut the ball back, and Son had a shot at goal. But yeah, I think he's far more effective through the centre, and if he continues to play there in the next 2 or 3 games, then I think he's good value.
And Toby, you own Heung-min Son, and he's done all right for you, to be fair, despite not always passing the eye test in recent weeks. Would you say, if you don't own him, perhaps don't bring him in, but if you do own him, don't sell him? Is that your kind of opinion on Son at the moment?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think
nice stop. Sorry, guys, nice save by Pope. What a surprise! Traore gets the ball down his side, hangs a crossover. Unusually for him, not that accurate, and Nick Pope just kind of flicks it over the top of the bar as it's about to land on Jimenez's head. But listen, I can foresee FPL returns for Adama Traore in this game. They are getting the ball to him every single time. Corner Wolves.
Good stuff.
I think, Jan, to go back to your point, I think that's possibly a fair point. I think another thing to consider is, given the stage of the season we're at, and if you're in a mini league where you're close to a rival, you need to make up some ground, or you want to kind of really solidify your position. Son's a really good differential at the moment. As I said earlier, he's only 6.5% ownership, and I think he's one of those players I always think is a good captain option. You know, you get a lot of midfielders that you don't fancy putting the armband on. I always feel quite confident when you've got Son playing against lesser opposition. Today's a good example. Possibly didn't occur to me because I think it was always going to go on Sterling, even though that was a mistake. Maybe Bruno, but actually Son, I think, is always a good outside shout. At 6.5%, it can really get you up those up that overall rank.
Yeah, Son's definitely one of those players with a high sort of ceiling, a high potential for sort of an explosive return. Andy, I've just seen Josh King go pretty close for Bournemouth against Man City.
Honestly, this is not good from City at all. It's not that Bournemouth have had loads of chances. That one you're talking about has probably been the only one since we last came to it. But City just not really creating much. Bournemouth are doing okay. I tweeted this before the game. Like, it's all well and good being happy with Jesus captain. I'd be much happier if Kevin De Bruyne was on the pitch, to be honest. I know David Silva's great, but Kevin De Bruyne is just that step up. And there was a chance when Mendy crossed the ball across the box, but that was offside. And yeah, Josh King just had a chance there. And Bournemouth getting forward. They're defending quite well. The Man City don't really seem to have too many ideas to how to get past them, to be honest. So yeah, the way this is going, I wouldn't be so worried if your Man City players are on the bench, because they're definitely going to come on if it carries on like this. And Jesus captain could be off at 50, 60 minutes.
Yeah, if it's 1-0 at 50, 60 minutes, you're definitely sending on all the big guns, aren't you? So yeah, fingers crossed we get our players through to 60 minutes, because Pep already this season has made a few 58, 59 minute subs. So yeah, fingers crossed there, especially if you've got a Man City captain out. But has Foden done much tonight, Andy? I've got Foden, and I was really close to putting the armband on him. Is he look lively?
Not really. I wouldn't say any of them have looked lively, to be honest. I've barely seen, I am looking on a very small screen, but yeah, I've hardly seen him involved at all. Lloyd Kelly got a yellow card earlier for pulling Jesus back, but that was near the halfway line. They got a corner now, but I don't think anything's come of it because no one said anything. So yeah, no one's really affecting the play, to be honest. There's been hardly a single, since that goal, there's been very few chances from either side. It's, dare I say it, it's a bit of a stalemate right now, which I'm pretty surprised about.
It does make it all the more kind of stressful, knowing as a Jesus owner, if you are, knowing that he's going to get hooked on 60 almost certainly. It gives you that really small window. You know, if you're going to half time and he's not returned yet, you're thinking 15 minutes in the first half. It really does make you kind of make your threat. Yeah.
I'm worried already, and we're only 25 minutes in. I was suddenly thinking, all this overthinking, why didn't I just put it on Bruno Fernandes again?
Yeah, I mean, let's spend a little time talking about United, because many of you guys watching will have 3 United assets. Many will have 3 United attacking options, which I'm slightly jealous for. And I know you're the same, Andy. You've got a United defender like me, and it kind of limits you a little bit. In an ideal world at the moment, we'd probably all be wanting a Martial and a Bruno, and then paired with a Rashford or a Greenwood. Has anyone here got that combination, by the way, the sort of 3 United attacking players?
Yeah,
No,
so I have. I've got Rashford, Greenwood, and of course Bruno. So those are my 3. I have to say, given what I've seen of Man United of late, certainly last couple of game weeks, I really want Martial. Martial looks absolutely another level at the minute. Absolutely another level. It's not that I regret having the other 3, because Greenwood, although he didn't have a great game, was it yesterday or the other night? Didn't have a great game, but you can forgive him that. He's a young player, not going to. He's only 4.4 or whatever he is in FPL, not going to perform every single week. It was good to see Rashford get back amongst the goals. Had a really good game, I thought. And Bruno is a lock in my team. I'm not going to get rid of him. But if I had a fourth Man United slot, I still wouldn't go at the back. I think I'd be going for Martial because I just think he's on fire.
Yeah, I agree with that. My biggest mistake was probably going David De Gea instead of the three United attacking options and Martial. I hold my hands up. I said 2 or 3 weeks ago, I didn't fancy Martial. I thought he was one of those that he'd get a hat trick, then he'd go 2 or 3 games without scoring. But he's proved me wrong. He's been brilliant. Even against Southampton, he was man of the match. He could have had at least 2. Martial for me is probably shading it over Bruno at the moment.
Andy, you're obviously a United fan. Martial, the game before Southampton.
There's a goal coming in Spurs game.
Oh,
and it's the man Toby's just been bigging up.
You're kidding me.
Heung-min Son. I think I've just pronounced his name really badly, by the way.
Aurier just had the ball with a cross. I thought I was going to get assist out of it as well. Kane to Lo Celso out of his feet. Lo Celso to Son on the edge of the box. Bang, goal, near post. Heung-min Son, come on! It's a really good finish, to be fair. It's a very Son-like finish. Short back lift, about 15, 16 yards out.
It's Kane assist, apparently.
Yeah.
Gianni's not happy about that one. He's not happy with that one.
Absolutely Devo. This is typical Mourinho. Newcastle have been the better team. Son hasn't had a sniff.
They have. It's actually, to be fair, bad play from Newcastle. They lost the ball, trying to dribble it out the back. Kane plays a little pass into Lo Celso. I think it's a Lo Celso. Yeah, it's a Lo Celso assist, not a Kane assist. But yeah, it's a really smart finish from Son. That's what he does. Son doesn't need many chances to score. If you compare Son with Salah needs big chance after big chance after big chance to get a goal. Son doesn't take many chances, and he scored. I think he's popped it through the defender's legs. Yeah, it's gone right in the corner. He's captain material, I'm telling you.
I tell you what Salah and Son have in common. They are probably the 2 greediest players in the Premier League. They both need a huge amount of chances and they both shoot on sight. But of course, they're both brilliant FPL options. Lee, what are your thoughts on that?
Just Toby saying, if you compare Son with Salah, I'm like, come on, seriously. One's the best player in the world, the other one's Heung-min Son. Listen, he's obviously got a goal tonight, so fair play to him. I'm interested, Toby, in your thoughts on Lo Celso. Obviously came to Spurs, big money. Hasn't really, from an FPL perspective, come into our thoughts much. Could he start to creep into our FPL thoughts next season? Because whenever I see him, I really like him. I just don't know if he's good enough for FPL.
Yeah, he's a class act. He really is. I think he's going to be a really good player. I'm not convinced he's necessarily going to be a good FPL player, though. He does tend to play quite deep. He's often in that kind of assisting the assist role. And I think for that reason, at the moment, certainly this season, I know we've not got much of it left to go. I don't think he's going to be a brilliant FPL option. Very willing to have my mind change. It'll also depend on kind of the system that Mourinho operates and where he plays for Celso. But I think he's really kind of got Mourinho's favour now. He's started, I think, the last 4 or 5 games in a row. He'll be a mainstay. He's certainly going to get the minutes. And I think, he's certainly one to watch next season. I don't think he's going to have a huge price tag on him either, given what he's done this season. So I think you're right there. I think he could be certainly one for the watch list next season.
It's one of those good player versus good FPL player doesn't always sync. Watching the Son goal back, guys.
Son's just nearly put in a worldie. He smashed it from about 35 yards, and the keeper's made an absolutely unbelievable save to tip it over. Son Heung-min is going to bang today, I'm telling you.
Oh, wow. So the Son goal, it goes under Yedlin's legs and it's near post. Dubravka should be saving it, but perhaps Dubravka has made it is near post. But perhaps Dubravka has just made up for that, Tobes, with a great save.
Yeah, to be fair, so he smashed it, and it's one of those where it's just taken a little nick off the defender, which has pushed it a little bit wider and put a little bit more bend on it, and it was arcing to that top corner, and Dubravka's made a really good save.
He shouldn't be shooting from there, should he? Greedy.
No. Shot on target though. Good for the bonus points.
Terrible news from Turf Moor for Charlie Taylor owners. He's just got, me included, by the way, just gone off injured on 29 minutes.
Up. I put him in over Sice last minute. I hate these defenders.
So Charlie Taylor just gone off injured. Goodmanson's come on. So that means a change of shape, clearly, for Burnley. I'll talk more through that when I get the chance and when I see what that shape looks like. But oh man, Charlie Taylor off on 29 for a 1-pointer is not good news for him.
It must be Peters at left back then, and then Goodmanson comes on into the midfield, I guess.
I don't know, Gianni. I'm too annoyed to even comment on it, mate. Let the news sink in first, mate.
What's also bad about an injury at the moment is we've got 2 Premier League games left to be played in the next 10 days, pretty much.
I
So
don't need him being injured. You know what I mean?
you don't really want to be wasting one of your 2 precious transfers left this season on a 4.2 million defender, but you might have to. So yeah,
I'm so annoyed about that.
Burnley owners.
I had Sice
That
playing.
really annoyed me, by the way.
I had Sice playing until yesterday. I thought, do you know what, actually, Taylor's playing at home. Every time I bench him, he does something, so I'll put him in. I can't get these. I've got 3 cheap defenders, Taylor, Sice, and Egan. I never get them right, ever. Every single week. It's always bad.
And Andy, I guess you're thinking with Taylor sometimes, is it a bit of I need to cover the Nick Pope clean sheets that so many benefit from?
It's sort of, I guess. It's more that I think if I think Pope's going to get a clean sheet, then obviously I think Taylor's going to get one too. So that's why I put him in, because I just thought, yes, Wolves did really well against Everton, but Everton was so bad. I wasn't expecting Wolves to turn Burnley over. So I just went, basically it was between Taylor and Sice, and I just went for the guy at home. That's pretty much what it came down to. That is so annoying. I'm so annoyed about that. But yeah, that's basically
Toby Alderweireld's been a bit of a naughty boy. He's got away with the yellow card. Toby, is that an elbow by Toby Alderweireld?
I'm not sure. I've just seen Lucas do a really nice mazy run for Spurs that's not come to anything. But yeah, I'm probably about 30 seconds behind. You reckon it's an elbow, do you, that he's flung?
Well, the VAR looked at it and gave him a yellow for it, so it was definitely a sort of flying arm. But they're probably ones where you look at and go, I've seen him give them, but I only caught it very quickly.
I haven't got to it yet. You might want to come back to me in about 30 seconds, and I'll be able to talk you through it.
It's probably that I'm on a 10-minute delay, and it happens 9 minutes ago.
Yeah, there is that. There doesn't look like any sort of reason why there's no crosses going into the box. But yeah, maybe you're on an Uber delay.
I think Bournemouth have nearly scored.
Yeah, Stanislas free kick.
Yeah,
Andy, he's
just
teeing
about
it
to watch
up. Go on, Andy, talk us through it.
It's a long wait till he actually kicks the ball, I think. Sounds like Edison's just absolutely pulled out a blinding save.
It's a really good free kick and a really good save by Edison. Up and over the wall. He's about 30 yards out.
Yeah, it's a long way out.
It's the post.
He saved it onto the post. Here we go. I'm about to see it now.
Edison onto the post, back to Edison, I think, and then off Edison's head for a corner.
One of those things, though, isn't it? Actually, if you're an owner of this.
Andy, talk through what just happened with that Edison save, because that could have gone in off Edison's head. It went out for a corner.
Yeah, I'm about to see the slow-mo, which I need. So yeah, it's really far out. Got it right up to the post. Oh, what a save! Yeah, it's basically saved it onto the post, hit his hand post, and then his head. I think it's hit the post twice, maybe. Let me see it again. Hand post. Yeah, definitely hand post, and then off his head. A bit lucky, to be honest. It didn't go in, but it's the initial save is great. Really good.
Pep is not going to be happy, is he, Andy? He's going to be looking at this thinking he needs to put KDB on to start dictating this game, because Bournemouth are probably just as involved as City.
City have done nothing. I can't, maybe people in the chat can correct me, because I'm kind of obviously half talking, half watching, but they're not seeing City go forward at all. I think Bournemouth are about to come on the attack again here. They got it outside the box.
They nearly scored. Go on.
They're going to get a goal here if it carries on like this. City are just standing off them, cross in. Oh, just over the bar. Bournemouth are getting close. It's ridiculous.
Solanke on a streak.
Can't stop scoring
that
game.
It's not a bad thing, is it? If you've got City players, attackers, which everybody has, Bournemouth getting a goal isn't a bad thing, because it reduces the amount of bonus points that Edison and Walker and the rest of the City defensive line are inevitably going to get if they keep a clean sheet, right? I think as a City attacking owner, you're looking at Bournemouth scoring a goal being a good thing.
It's a bad thing.
I'd like a goal from them as well, though. Do you know what I mean? I'd like Jesus scoring would be nice as well. Never mind bonus points, just get a goal.
Yeah, it's a bad thing for me, because a Bournemouth goal means Sterling comes on earlier, and the amount of Sterling captains out there kills me. And any action, Tobes? Are Newcastle going to get back into this game? I mean, they started the better team, but since the goal, it looks like Spurs are kind of taking it up.
Yeah, they've got control of it now. They look a little bit more settled. It is well and truly a 4-4-2 from Mourinho. Son isn't spending any time out on the left, which is good news for Spurs, I think, and good news for Son owners. Kane looking quite lively as well. He's been sluggish, I think, since the restart. He's still not looked quite right after his injury, but he is kind of looking sharper and sharper, I think. I think he's got maybe a goal in him, a couple of goals in him between now and the end of the season. There's actually another bad challenge gone in on Lo Celso, which I think is a yellow card for, I don't know who it's gone to, but it was a bit northern. I think it might have been Shah. But yeah, Spurs kind of been more in control of the game now. But yeah, probably Spurs lucky to be in front, I'd say.
And Lee, any action at Wolves? Has Traore's been quiet, or is he really sort of bossing this game at wing back still?
No, it's kind of evened out a little bit actually, Gianni. The sort of last 10 or 15 minutes since the Charlie saying that ball's just been given away in midfield. Pudense, he's got Jimenez up with him. Oh, he's trying to do it all himself. He's going to get crowded out. Pass it. What are you doing backheeling it from there? Pudense picks it up just inside his own half, runs into a load of Burnley players. They crowd him and he tries to backheel his way out of it when he had a really easy early ball onto Jimenez that, all right, Jimenez might not have been in, but it'd have been in a far better position than Pudense was. I just feel like Pudense is just trying to do a bit too much here. He needs to sort of bring the rest of his team in with him a little bit. Just to finish the point I was making, it has evened out. It was all Wolves attack. It was a training match to start with. And you had Wolves with the front three being quite interchangeable. So Jimenez, Jota, Pudense, really their movement was very dynamic, giving Burnley all sorts of problems with Vinagre and Traore obviously providing the width. It has evened out a little bit. Wood and Rodriguez getting a bit more of a sniff up front, but no real chances that Burnley can say. Not really even a half chance.
Bournemouth should have equalised, honestly. I don't know how they. I think that was Josh. Is it Josh King? Yeah, I think Otamendi's just saved it. Maybe I'm missing. Maybe I'm a bit behind. I think Otamendi has just saved the ball off the line pretty much.
He has. Solanke hits it at 7 yards out, and Otamendi's in the way, and it goes over the bar. But Dan Gosling almost scores. I think keeper saves it. Comes back to Solanke.
About a minute or two.
Get on, sunshine.
Yeah, they're going to have to come on. This is awful.
And then from the corner, Andy, check out the corner. Billing goes close.
Yeah, I have to wait for that. I've just seen the replay. Otamendi basically a nice, nice header there. I don't know, that was quite over the bar, but honestly, Bournemouth are on top here. There's City do it, yeah, absolutely. And just before that, a ball came over to Bernardo Silva in the box, on the half volley, just completely scuffed it. And that kind of just summed up Man City's first half. Great free kick from David Silva, very little else. And Bournemouth have had the better chances, but just Ederson really good, Otamendi really good. Just saved them. Pep's going to change this. I reckon 2 subs at half time. Don't know who, but I could see
2-0. City have scored.
Oh, would they? Jesus, come on! Yes! As I was saying, Man City, absolutely brilliant. Waiting for their goal. It was incoming. I saw it, didn't I? I was just saying how good Man City have been.
I can probably talk us through it.
You do it.
Got the ball on the halfway line. It passes it out wide to Walker. Walker finds Bernardo Silva. Foden's involved. Back to Silva, they're just passing it around really nicely in the midfield. I thought they'd score quicker than they have on my screen. David Silva with the through ball. Jesus has got loads of work to do. Takes on 2-3 men. Brilliant goal by Jesus.
Brilliant goal. Jesus, he can't dribble, he can't finish, but yet he always scores. What a guy. What a guy.
Was that a David Silva assist as well?
I'm still bloody waiting for it. Yeah, it is David Silva assist apparently. Oof. So huge if you got him in. Really, really
Andy,
nice.
Give us your reaction when you see...
Well, yeah, when I see it in about 10 minutes, I'll let you know. Okay, Silva to Jesus. 1, 2, bam! He can finish that, lad. Every time Jesus scores, I absolutely love it. He gets too much stick, that guy.
So before the goal, we were saying, and I wrote down the numbers because Sky put a graphic on screen. So shots on goal, Bournemouth 6, Man City 4. This is after 37 minutes. Shots on target, Bournemouth 2, Man City 1. Bournemouth was starting to really dominate the game, and this goal is just going to take it all out.
Exactly, that might kill them because they honestly, since that goal, they've been the better team, I would say. But I mean, I'm just watching it again. That's such a good finish. Inside, goes past 2, then just slots it in. Such a good finish.
Yeah, fair play. Wow. So, Jesus captainers, Lee, how are you feeling about that? I mean, I've not captained him and I'm buzzing.
No, good, absolutely good. Because, for the way the game was going, it didn't sound as if City were dominating as we were expecting. I mean, I bought him in. I had KDB as well. I'm thinking, well, if they both play, it's going to be a massacre in that game tonight. But clearly it's not. But I agree with you guys. I think after a sustained period of pressure when Bournemouth could have scored, having not, to then get that sucker punch of that second goal. I mean, what are we on? 40-odd minutes, I guess. 41 minutes maybe in that game. That's a tough one to take. They're going to have to come out second half with renewed vigour, Bournemouth, and that's going to be a very hard thing to do. And of course, we still haven't seen KDB, Sterling or Mahrez, who are about to get some game time at some stage.
Yeah,
we need another goal now. I'm getting greedy. We need one more goal from Jesus before he goes off. I'll be happy then. It's double attack for a captain. That seems good to me.
We take that.
Bournemouth on the attack again now, though. City have won it back on there at the edge of their box. So what are we on now?
Jota!
Coming up to half time. So it's a good time to get that goal. I
Jota.
think might put the subs off for a bit longer.
Action
Jota goes close. Yeah, Jota goes close. It's Wolves just up in it again now. Like I said, they came out the traps, all guns blazing. Then it sort of evened out a little bit. Burnley got a foothold in the game, but now Wolves just turning it up again last 5 minutes before half time. Podence again. Podence. Absolutely at the heart of everything, to be honest with you. He's their main creative hub, honestly.
Like Hazard.
Like Hazard, yeah, absolutely right. Like Hazard, they've got a two-pronged approach, right, Wolves. What I like about the way they've set up is, yes, they can get the ball wide to Traore, and that drags the defenders out to Traore. But equally, if you've got Podence sort of driving from deep as well, he can be that creative hub, and that's benefiting the two up front, Jota and Jimenez. In this case, it was Jota that got the shot away, just wide. Would I call it a chance? Probably call it a half chance. But listen, Wolves ramping it up now just before half time. So Burnley could do with the whistle, I would say. Could do with the whistle.
Lee, how's Jimenez doing? There's loads of Jimenez owners that are watching tonight. Has he been involved? Should we be looking? I mean, it's too early to say, but if he blanks tonight, should we be looking to sell?
It's sort of, to be honest, Johnny, it sort of feels like a very... Oh, what's going on? Jesus again, Andy, come on.
No, Newcastle just
Toby.
hit the post. Yeah, Newcastle just hit the post. Really good ball in. Not sure who put the ball in. I'm pretty sure it was Dwight Gale, a little stooping header, which just looked like it was going to nest in the bottom corner. And it's, come off the inside of the post. Lloris absolutely rooted. And really, to be fair, it's a really bad miss from Dwight Gale. He's got to be scoring. It's a great ball in from Shelby, who has got one hell of a delivery on him. Actually, I'm maybe being a bit harsh. It wasn't the easiest header in the world. He's just kind of flicked it on. But it is a good chance. You'd expect to be burying that. But yeah,
Dwight Gale was Dwight Gale is not the best striker in the world, but the one thing he is good at is finishing. So you'd expect him to maybe.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm probably doing him a bit of a disservice there. He kind of came in quite flat. He did have quite a lot to do, but he just didn't quite get enough on the header. Clipped the post. It was so close. The delivery from Shelby, though, is unbelievable. He's one of those players, Shelby. You just look at him and think he should be playing for a really, really big team. He's obviously doesn't deliver consistently enough, I guess.
Oh, action at the Etihad.
Yeah,
no goal, but a bit of a scramble there, Andy.
Yeah, almost 3-0. Apparently, I was just again reading that in the chat there. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait till it comes. I think it was Jesus that was very involved again. It's got confidence on that. Got confidence.
Yeah.
Not that he needs it.
Indeed. Okay, Andy, we'll come to you for the Man City chance. You can talk through it in a minute.
I'm just watching it now. It's a bit of a goal mouth scramble. To be fair, Ramsdale
it's a pen. Is that going to be a pen? Jesus gets wiped out there. No. Got to look at that. That's a pen. That should be a pen. I don't think.
Who's going to take it, by the way? David Silva or Jesus? It's got to be one of those. Or Bernardo Silva, maybe? Because none of De Bruyne's not on the pitch. Aguero's not on the pitch. Mahrez.
Edison.
Lerma's taking him out.
There you go. I like that, Toby.
People are saying no penalty.
Wow,
everyone's saying that should
not
be
been looked at.
Oh, that's a penalty on Jesus. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm only just seeing it now. Yeah, from Lerma. Yeah, he goes for the ball. Lerma just takes him out. That's got to be a penalty. If that's not given, that's ridiculous.
I tell you what, if that is just across Manchester, a couple of miles away at Old Trafford, that is a pen all day long, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's not been given though, right? It's not been given.
It's not been given. Yeah, that is insane. Because even if Jesus didn't take it, it was his bloody assist. Oh,
people on Twitter saying that's 2 penalties. People saying he caught him twice.
Wow.
It's not been given. That is insane. Honestly, when you watch that, like, there's no debate. That is a penalty. There's no debate to be had. He literally goes nowhere near the ball and just takes Jesus out.
Andy,
that's crazy.
Who do you think would take the pen?
Would
Silva take it?
Well, some people think that Jesus doesn't. I'm pretty sure when Aguero's been out in the past, Jesus has been the main penalty taker.
Is Gundogan on the pitch tonight?
Oh, he is. That's a great point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
Jesus missed a couple as well. Jesus has missed a couple of pens, hasn't he? I think his last 2 has he missed?
Yeah,
the thing is, it would have been his assist. Oh my! That's so annoying. Definite penalty. I can't believe that.
Gundogan, Jesus, Aguero have all missed pens in the last 12 months. That's the only reason KDB is on them. I
was going to say, but then De Bruyne steps up, smashes 3 in, and you wonder how the hell was he not always on penalties with the right foot that man's got.
Everyone said that for ages as well. Like we just assumed he would be a good penalty taker, and he was. So yeah, where was he?
Good at everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the best player in the league. Brilliant at set pieces, so why was he never on pen?
Pretty sure he can score from 12 yards, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Lee, you were giving us a bit of an update on Jimenez before we crossed to St James's. He's been quiet, has he?
Oh, J-Rod's in. Oh, J-Rod just wide. So Burnley with their first real shot. So I will get to Jimenez at some point, Johnny. Rodriguez just wide, high and wide. He snatched at it a little bit, and I think it was Connor Cody coming flying over, just does enough to put him off. Half chance for Burnley, probably their best chance of the game, to be fair. Jimenez then. So, classic Jimenez performance this, right? He's kind of on the periphery of the game, quite frankly, but you just know he's going to pop up and get his goal, his one goal, or Wolves are going to get a corner or a penalty or something. I don't know. If I was a Jimenez owner, I'd be frustrated watching this game because Podence has looked far more likely the corner's just coming in for Burnley, or good take from Patricia. Yeah, Podence has looked far more creative. Traore's looked far more threatening down the side. Jota a bit of both. I'm not seeing enough from Jimenez, frankly. But listen, you know what he's like. He can do that, and then he'll just pop up with a goal second half.
The thing with him, sorry, I'm not watching it, but the thing with Jimenez, I feel like he hasn't done much for a long time. I was an owner last week, and I feel extremely fortunate they got a penalty because outside of that, don't really feel like he did that much. I just feel like there's so many better options right now. You were saying like if you can get Jesus, that's such a better option. Ings maybe as well, Rashford, etc. I don't know. I don't think he's a must sell, but I also think there's plenty of better options if you got a spare transfer personally.
Twitter is going absolutely crazy on that Man City.
It's one of those where there's no debate. There's no like even Bournemouth fans would say,
I've just seen it. What is going on? That is Andy, as clear as day.
Andy, I don't know what your thoughts are on. I've just seen it in the chat, and I don't know how long he's been flagged for, but I've just checked on the FPL site, and Greenwood is flagged for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
An injury, and it was obviously there was a bad tackle, and a lot of people thought it was a red card.
Well, yeah.
Right?
I mean, red or not, I can't believe he didn't get any card for that.
It's
like intent or not, I don't know. But without getting into that, yeah, basically, Greenwood. There was basically an article on Man United site saying that his ankle is a problem. We'll have to wait and see. So it's kind of enough, I guess, to flag it. And then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did an interview on MUTV and basically said we'll have to wait and see. So he is a doubt for tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, to be fair, I think his ownership in the top 10K is like 60% now, but his effective ownership is only like 44 because so many people benched him. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's probably going to be one of those where he misses out completely. So basically, really quickly, Solskjaer said he thinks basically the adrenaline got him through that match, and then afterwards it's reacted. And so that's basically what the issue is now. So we'll have to wait and see. He might miss out. He might not. But it might not be the worst thing because I think he's been due a rest anyway. So if he misses this game, we'll play the next two.
Could be one of those things where he's channeling his inner Sir Alex Ferguson. And I might be reading too much into it, but if he makes a big deal about Greenwood being hurt, then it puts a little bit more pressure, kind of a sort of thinly veiled attack on the referee saying, you've had a howler there. He's raked his ankle. It's a red card. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things
that might not be a bad shout, to be honest. I mean, look, it was a definite foul. I don't know how he didn't get carded at all. But yeah, you could be right. Yeah, giving him some protection maybe in the next game, and if anything happens, he gets a free kick or a penalty a bit quicker. But
it's clever, I think.
He will need it as well. The guy's got such quick feet. I was really surprised to see, and Gary Neville was surprised in commentary. For those of you that were watching it, you'd have seen the stat that came up on screen with Gary Neville asked, and he must be a producer's nightmare, Gary Neville, because he produces from the floor, is I think the term used. He's going, who is the fastest out of Greenwood, Martial and Rashford? And the poor producer sat there, obviously having to Google it or look at the stats. And he put it up on screen. And Greenwood's the fastest player at Old Trafford, or faster than Rashford, Andy. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Greenwood's no slouch. Let's be honest. I don't know how those stats are kind of recorded though, like over what distances are. Because if it
was the top kilometre per hour stat, so it doesn't mean he's quicker over 10 meters or quicker over 50.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's run the fastest top speed.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised because you assume that Rashford's the quickest there out of those three, but yeah, he's no slouch. Like as much as like we say, Dan James is the speedy winger. It's not like Greenwood is slow. It's not like Raul Jimenez on the wing or something like that. So yeah, not that surprising. But I guess I was surprised that Rashford wasn't the quickest.
Yeah. Toby, it must be half time now at St James's as well.
Yeah, it is. We talked about it. Newcastle have actually played really, really well. I'm just kind of looking at a few of the stats now. Tottenham, the possession's pretty much 50-50. Newcastle had 12 shots to Tottenham's 4, 3 on target to Tottenham's 2, 5 off target to Tottenham's 1. They've really bossed it in that respect. And I think, on the balance to play, consider themselves very unlucky to be behind, and arguably should be in front themselves. It's such a classic Mourinho performance, though, which as a Spurs fan, I'm still not at all comfortable watching. I really do miss the days of watching Pochettino's football. We go out, we press teams high, we play really, really good football. But yeah, it's just Mourinho football. It's somehow it's effective, but it's not good to watch at all.
The one place Mourinho has always struggled is St James's Park, which is ironic, really, because Sir Bobby Robson was, of course, his mentor, and I think he calls it sort of St James's Park, Bobby's house. So yeah, he can never get a result there, and he really struggled there at Chelsea and I think at United. But it looks like he might tonight. Guys, should we have a quick look at our teams? Andy, do you want to talk us through your FPL team so far? How you're doing? What your thoughts are for the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I'll bring it up on screen. Let me just refresh it so you can see Jesus' points there. That's
hit that refresh button, Andy.
Those lovely 10 points, but I can't believe it's not more. I'm so frustrated. I mean, to be fair, it's pretty hard to kind of say how my week's going because I had no players yesterday, no Chelsea players, which was a bit of a weird one where I feel like owners of Chelsea players were really happy and non-owners were also really happy. Like Pulisic only getting an assist and 6 points.
Yeah.
Like I almost got him for Antonio or Mahrez last minute because I was streaming at the same time and I was like squirming for the last 5 minutes, but I went against it. I just didn't fancy him, and then he has Liverpool and Wolves, so I went without. So I've only had literally Jesus play captain and Taylor who's gone off, so that's really annoying. Mahrez and De Bruyne are on the bench. I've got no Salah or Mane, only Trent for later on. Then obviously it's the 3 Man United boys. You said I've got Maguire, no attacker, and then Danny Ings and McCarthy for Southampton. So all my eggs are really in the Man United, Man City, Southampton, and I've got Antonio on Friday. So I'm looking forward to another 4 goals from him as well.
That's going to be a weird one, Antonio, on Friday, because the oh no, it's not. Okay, I was thinking the FPL. I was thinking when's the FPL deadline going to be, but it's not. It's on Saturday, but Saturday afternoon.
But the one thing is
it like a 4:30 or something?
Well, the weird thing is we won't get any team use for that. For the deadline because they'll only have played, so there won't be a press conference for them, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, it will be before the deadline. It'll also be after Villa and Bournemouth have played. So if they both lose, it'll be interesting to see kind of how high tempo that the West Ham and Watford game is. Because neither side are going to want to lose that. But yeah, I mean, I've got to mention Antonio really quick. How good was he against Norwich? He did what Chelsea couldn't and got more than 1 goal against them. Fantastic. He's just been so good since the restart. And look, as a Ben Foster owner since the restart, I know there's goals in this game for Antonio. So I'm hoping he can get at least 1 more goal. 2 returns would be lovely.
It would be so West Ham to not score against Watford, despite them scoring 4, though, don't you think? West Ham just aren't not the most consistent team.
I will go nuts if Foster gets a clean sheet in that game because I've benched him for the first time since I owned him. So that is on the back of my mind. But I genuinely think Antonio's been so good since the start. His stats back it up. Like he's the highest player for expected goal involvement since the restart, and he was before the Norwich game as well. So that wasn't really. I mean, 4 goals was a fluke, but to get some returns from him wasn't. So I'm really hopeful with him. Last day of the game week, hopefully propel that green arrow a little bit further.
Outside chance of a place at the Euros, do you reckon?
I think players like him, it's probably really helped that it's been delayed. I think there's a chance. Obviously, the next year is gonna massively affect it. Like Foden's the same. I think Foden, the fact that it's been delayed a year, will really help him too. If you can get into that Man City team a little bit more. But yeah, why not someone like Antonio off the bench?
He's not the youngest, though, to Southgate's methods. But guys, loads of you are joining us. Thank you for watching. Loads of you have started to join us only in half time. So do stay with us. Mute your TVs and listen to us for the next 45 minutes. We're bringing you live FPL chat, but also updates from the 3 live games. So we're going to spend the next couple of minutes just looking at everyone's team. Lee, do you want to talk us through your team and your thought processes for the week ahead?
Yeah. Let me just hit refresh so I get those Jesus points coming. Hold on a second. Let me just hit.
And you've done it, yeah.
And I've done it. There we go. So, so I had Pulisic yesterday. So the 6 points was a very welcome thing. Was I expecting a bit more? Yes, I think so. Sam actually had him captain, so she was kind of actually a bit disappointed by the 6. But listen, shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. 6 points is better than nothing, right? Jesus is in there with a 10 right now, so that's good. But it's at the back where I have to say I'm a bit disappointed. I mean, the Charlie Taylor thing has ruined my evening, to be honest with you. Even if Jesus goes on to get another one, that is a bit disappointing. However, Doherty not starting means that he's on a 0 as well. I have Patricio as well, so I put my FPL team together this week, really fingers crossed for a 0-0 at Turf Moor. So having you guys given me this game, I was sitting there just hoping there's no goals. But actually, as it is, Taylor's gone off injured. Doherty's not playing. So anything can happen now, really. I guess I am back in the Wolves clean sheet because I've got Patricio in goal. So let's see what happens second half. In terms of my game, Wolves come out all guns blazing, no doubt about it. And I do think that if they take the same mentality going into the second half, I think it will eventually happen for them. But especially in that final third, in the Burnley final third, it's been a real battle. And that front three, as I mentioned before, for Wolves, really interchanging really nicely. Daniel Podence having another really good game, trying a bit too hard, I think. If he was in that team a bit more regularly, I think he would be more on the Jota and Jimenez wavelength. And if that is something that Nuno's going to look at going into next season, there's a front three that could really work nicely based on what I've seen this evening. But we know what Burnley are all about. They're resolute. They'll be hard to break down. And that has proved to be the case. So it's not for the want of trying from Wolves' perspective. They've created some reasonable chances, got in some good areas, but it's going to take something special, I think, to break down this Burnley backline.
If you're just joining us, guys, it's Burnley 0, Wolves 0. Jimenez has been quiet. Doherty is benched. City 2, Bournemouth 0. The goals there from Jesus, who got the second, and David Silva, the first, who also got an assist. And it's Newcastle 0, Spurs 1. Son with the goal and Lo Celso with the assist there. But Newcastle are getting into that game and have hit the beans on toast by who hit the post there, Tobes? It was
Dwight Gale.
Dwight Gale, yeah, of course. Yeah. The fox in the box, Dwight Gale. So we'll have team news for you coming up for the Liverpool-Arsenal game in the next 15 minutes as well. Toby, how is your game week going? I know you have got 3 City players all on the bench, but I'm guessing you're expecting them to come on and get you something.
Yeah, just refresh my team to get those Sun points in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's looking a bit miserable, to be honest with you. I've got 4 big fat zeros staring at me. As you said, I've got Sterling as my captain, De Bruyne, Mahrez, and also Doherty, none of whom have actually started. To say I'm unlucky, that would be a bit of a stretch, given that I brought Sterling in last week for Mane and a captain Sterling and got that lovely, juicy 42 points out of him, which is very nice indeed. But yeah, to be fair, the 3 players that I've got that are in action are actually doing okay. Son's got me a goal. Aurier's still on for a clean sheet. Jimenez hasn't looked all that lively by the sound of it. But yeah, I'm heavily reliant on Sterling coming on and doing something. De Bruyne and Mahrez as well. I've got Fernandes as well to play, who you'd expect big things from him. And yeah, De Gea as well. You'd expect probably a clean sheet out of him against Palace. So yeah, I think all things considered, given that I had 3 City assets that haven't played, I'm okay at the moment. Jesus hasn't gone mental. Foden hasn't gone mental. David Silva's obviously doing really well. I don't think his ownership is particularly high, so it's not hurting me too much. No. But yeah, a lot still to come, hopefully.
Sorry, really quick questions. I'm just looking at your team there. Did you have any consideration to play Calvert-Lewin instead of Jimenez? Just because of the fixture?
I did. Yeah, I did. I've got a funny feeling as well, Andy. You said that. I thought about it yesterday, and I was very, very close to doing that. I also had a suspicion that Gianni would be getting rid of Jimenez as well. So, because we're very close in our mini league, I kind of thought it would be a good move because, if Jimenez does score, it's not going to cost me too much.
So yeah, I thought Sam and I were bad, but the rivalry between you two is intense, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
God, yeah, it's awful. Yeah, there's voice notes flying around left, right, and centre. Can't get any work done.
Honestly, if I could show you my WhatsApp thread between Tobes and myself, it's literally, and feel free to. It's literally just full of FPL chat and voice notes all day, every day. It's just off the chart intense. And there's 3 points in it. I'm actually now top because of Pulisic last night, but with the Son goal, 3 points over the course of a season is crazy.
Tell me, guys, how does it feel to have a rivalry that's so close? Because I haven't been out to touch Sam for the best part of 2 years. She's so high in those leagues. How does it feel, guys, to have a close rivalry? Is that good?
It's nice to have a title race, isn't it? We've not really had a proper title race. It's never been this close at this stage of the season.
Yeah, I'm never usually that bad.
Yeah, you had a bad year last year, which I think I'd won it by Christmas more or less last year, didn't I? Oh dear. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been really good.
I was 47 I was 47 points clear until the weekend when Toby captained Sterling and I had a nightmare.
Nice.
But yeah, Lee, I feel for you too. But to be fair, anyone that had a rivalry with Sam is going to be struggling, right? She's just had an unbelievable couple of seasons. This season, what's her rank at the moment?
I think she's at about 3.5k. And I think last week she had a red arrow, went down from 3.2k to 3.5k, and she's devastated.
Sterling is coming on. Raheem Sterling is coming on at half time. Everyone's saying that. I don't know who for yet. I'm going to assume Bernardo Silva or Foden. Garcia's on as well. Wow. Must not be happy with Stones or Otamendi. Surely it's got to be Stones.
Walker going off by the looks of things.
Really?
Oh, so that means Garcia playing right back potentially.
Or Stones, I guess. Yeah, Bernardo Silva out, so Sterling's coming on. I don't know.
Mendy is coming on as well. No, sorry, Mendy's
already on. Garcia on for Walker at right back and Sterling on for Bernardo. There you go. See, I think Sterling captain is looking really good now.
Goal. Yeah.
There you go, Toby.
I'll take a goal. I'll take a goal from Sterling. That make me.
I'd take him setting up Jesus. I'll take that.
Tobes, you are definitely getting points from Sterling. This is such a Margetts move. Even when he benches, even when his players bench, he still comes on and gets points.
And Gianni, it's going to be a goal like his third one last game week. It just bounces off his head for a push gas goal of the season. Oh, I'm
not having any Toby's lucky chat when I've got 3 Man City assets all stuck on the bench until now. That would be outrageous.
Bernardo Silva, by the way, really hasn't been good either. Like, he had that one chance where he just completely scuffed it. Barely seen it. I've not really seen Foden in the game much either, but I've seen a lot of people commenting on how poorly Bernardo Silva has played, so it sounds like that's not very surprising, to be honest. So yeah, 45 minutes now, honestly. Because if you think of it as a Sterling, De Bruyne or Mahrez, you've not really been punished that heavily. Jesus captain, there's a few of us around, but it's not huge. I think it's like 40% or something in the top 10k effective ownership. Yeah. So, and now you got 45 minutes, just like everyone else. So it's huge, I think, for Sterling.
Yeah, it's massive news. Where will he play, Andy? It looks like he's playing on the right, so Foden stays on the left, and Sterling actually goes into position. He's not played a huge amount in the last sort of 12 months. He's playing on the right rather than the left.
Yeah, it looks to be that. I guess they could probably swap at some point. I'd say they might interchange, but we'll have to. I mean, where I'm sitting, there's only 30 seconds gone, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'd say they might interchange at some point. There's probably a few people with Walker, though. That's going to be frustrating for them coming off at half time.
That is annoying, isn't it? Really annoying.
Just from the way they've set up, it looks like, I mean, they'll all change. Sterling could be playing down the middle and Jesus on the left. I mean, I'm on a wide shot at the moment, and that's how they're lined up. That could easily move. Maybe Sterling just drifted in. But we have seen Jesus playing out on the left.
Yeah, no, the shot I'm seeing now looks the same. Yeah, whether or not that'll stay. It looks like Foden's on the right, Sterling's through the middle, and Jesus. I'm sure that's Jesus. It's so hard to see on this phone.
I was kind of surprised you guys were talking about kicking off. So anybody watching the Burnley versus Wolves game, it was on BBC Two for the first half. And I'm waiting for the programme to come back on. You're all saying City's kicking off. It's moved to BBC. I'm sitting here watching Back in Time for Tea on BBC Two. So I'm gonna change the channel and get Burnley Wolves on.
You'll
be pleased to hear we have kicked off. The second half is underway.
Maybe they had to. Yeah, let's hope at 7:30 they don't go back to BBC Two for EastEnders.
It's just keeping me on my toes here. It's unreal.
Any action at St James's, Tobes? I'm guessing they've only just kicked off.
Yeah, no, literally we're about 55 seconds into the restart. Spurs just knocking it around the back. You got Aurier on the right wing at the moment, just made a terrible first touch, lost the ball. Actually, he's regained it now. He's about to whip across into the box. No, he's not. He's cut back. Services before him. Kane with a chance or cut back. No, out for a corner. Spurs looking quite bright.
And so Garcia, Andy, playing right back, we think. That must be
it looks to be
Kyle Walker. I wonder if he's picked up a knock there to bring him off at half time.
For Traore there, gets it. Traore is so good at this. He gets it out from his feet really quickly, doesn't he? And he's just got that little burst of pace. He's, for some reason, got the freedom of the box over here, and he just gets the shot away. And I think it was going wide anyway. It's gone for what looks like a corner. Did Pope get a touch on that? We'll see on the replay here. No touch on it. Goal kick. So, Wolves picking up where they left off. Sorry, Andy, to interrupt you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously Bournemouth did have some chances, which Pep's not going to be happy about given the kind of form they've been in this season. But yeah, I wouldn't say Walker did anything bad. Not that I recall anyway. And to bring Garcia on to play in that position as well, that seems a bit strange. Although I just saw Sam Lee, who's like a Man City reporter for The Athletic. He said he seems to remember Garcia playing right back in the UEFA Youth League in his first season, and maybe for the first team in the Carabao Cup once. So it sounds like he may have done it a couple of times before, but obviously we know he's mainly a centre back. So yeah, it could be a knock. I'm not sure yet. If we find out, I'll let you know.
Don't see many sub 6 foot centre backs, and Garcia is one of them. But yeah, interesting that he's the one that moved out to the right. Looking at City's lineup again, Sterling seems to be down the right now, and Jesus in the middle. But maybe they are just rotating. I mean,
I wonder if they're basically not going to be fully stood there the whole time. But I wonder if they're basically both playing up front and just drifting wide when they've got the ball, just to occupy the centre backs. Like I'm watching now, Jesus is in the centre. Sterling is wide right, but then so is Foden still as well. So it looks more like Sterling and Jesus are maybe playing up front together.
4-4-2. Mourinho does it. It's all the rage.
Imagine Pep playing a very basic 4-4-2. Never seen the day.
I mean, I don't know if it would be basic, but yeah, it does seem to be that way.
Action for you, Lee, at Turf Moor. I mean, we've spoken a bit about Jimenez and how quiet he's been, but Burnley are always just a banker for a clean sheet, aren't they? If you're a Nick Pope owner, should you be fairly confident?
I don't know if you'd be fairly confident. Like I say, Wolves full of attacking intent, so they are the better of the two sides going forward. Burnley find it hard to make it stick actually up front, which kind of surprises me given they've got Jay Rodriguez and Chris Wood, two players that you think would hold the ball up reasonably well. Like I say, we've only been going 4 minutes in the second half, so difficult to spot the pattern really. But Wolves have come out looking as if they're sticking with their plan to attack. I don't know what Nuno would do to change this up. I mean, I'm looking at the bench and I'm thinking, well, Doherty's not going to change the game. I don't think they've got Dendoncker on the bench, not really a game changer. Maybe Gibbs White or Neto maybe to come on and do something. But really, I think with the players he's got out there, he would expect and want to break the deadlock with who he's got on the pitch. So Nick Pope owners, I think you should be reasonably happy because it's Burnley at home and they're always good for a clean sheet. So yeah, let's see. I think if Adama Traore can get on the ball more, if Podence can start finding his own player in the final third rather than running down avenues and corridors of darkness, then they will start to open Burnley up. And if they can get one or two chances fall to the right man, and that's probably Jimenez, then there is goals in this for Wolves.
If you're a Doherty owner, you're probably hoping he's not going to come on because you're probably thinking your first sub might be on, be on some points. I've got Aurier, for example, as my first sub who's on a clean sheet. So hopefully Doherty doesn't come on. You're thinking because Wolves have made a few changes, he's got the likes of Podence in, Jota doesn't always start. Maybe Nuno won't use all 5 subs because he's thinking this guy doesn't always play. Toby's action for you at St James's?
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier about how selfish Son is with Kane especially, and we've actually just seen it the other way around. Kane has to slip Son in. He's been clean through. Kane's cut back instead and just run into trouble. It was really poor play by Kane. I think he's just desperate for a goal, isn't he? He just wants to score. But yeah, he's really got to put Son in there. I think Son's not happy about it. But yeah, it's actually quite an even game again. Newcastle are having a go. They're looking quite good when they're going forward. Just put a good ball into the box there that's been cleared. It's not a bad game at all.
Interesting stats.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, this
is
just because this is pretty big news. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people are saying Sterling's just pulled up and is holding his calf. Now, I don't know if he's going off and how bad it is, but a few different people have said the same thing.
Look at the sweat.
Sterling's feet. He's okay. Someone's saying he's run it off, so it might be okay.
Ooh,
I see it now. Yeah, he's holding his calf. Yeah, it's like he's pulled up out of nowhere, basically. He's fixing his sock. He's fixing his sock. Not even joking.
Is that all it was? Is that all it was?
I think so. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, more of that, please. That was fantastic. I was just going to chip in, Gianni, and say that there's an interesting substitution just happened at Turf Moor. Given what Andy you were saying before about potentially bringing in a Burnley attacking asset, Jay Rodriguez just gone off on 50 minutes. And I thought that's an interesting time for him to go off. And he has actually, he is holding his calf. His sock is down on the bench and looks like he's just about to put some ice on it. So it looks like he might have a bit of a problem there. Vidra's come on and that can only, well, I think if you're a Patricio owner or if you've got one of the Wolves defenders, I think that's the good thing because it looked like J-Rob was going to be the man to break the deadlock, if anybody, in that Burnley side. So one to just keep an eye on, Andy, given the game weeks are coming thick and fast. Don't know if he'll recover in time.
I to be honest, the one I would like if I was going for a forward is Chris Wood, actually, because I just think he's usually pretty solid, but he's only just come back from injury, which is the only worry. But yeah, Chris Wood's the one I would want. I'll have to see how he performs tonight. I don't know if I'll actually end up bringing one in, but yeah, definitely looking at him for now. So if it's not J-Rod, Chris Wood, I'm okay with that, I think.
Guys, we will have Liverpool team news for you in a couple of minutes.
Jimenez! Oh, Jimenez nearly gets his goal. Yotta down the left-hand side. Takes 3 defenders out of the game because they all draw towards him and they leave Jimenez. But I think looks like it's, who's that? Tarkowski that just gets over to do enough to put Jimenez off. But first decent sight of goal there for Jimmy.
Just want to confirm as well, Sterling is okay. I mean, not just you guys in the chat, but us as well. What has happened as FPL managers, when a bloke can't even roll his socks up without us all sort of gasping and the conversation of it? That Andy, is what FPL management does to you.
Andy, that was absolutely.
I was just going by what I was seeing. I saw loads of people say he's down, he's holding his calf, and then I saw the same few people say, "Oh, don't worry, it's just his sock."
We're as bad as each other. Toby, it looks like St. Maximin's still looking lively and had another little pop.
Yeah, yes, they're looking good going forward. I've got to say they've got some good sort of not even necessarily dead ball specialists, but they've got a lot of players, Newcastle, that can whip a mean ball into the box. Matt Ritchie's put in a couple of really, really good crosses. Your boy Matt Ritchie, Gianni. Shelby as well has put some really kind of wicked crosses in, and you kind of, obviously not as a Spurs fan, I don't want to see it, but you're looking for a Shearer-esque type striker to just put them away. Like if Newcastle had a decent number 9, they'd score a hell of a lot more goals with the quality that's getting put into the box. You know, often we talk about teams that can't create chances, can't put quality into the box. But yeah, Newcastle kind of got the opposite problem. They're creating a lot, but they just cannot finish.
Yeah, and what are their options? Andy Carroll and Joe Linton outside of Gale. It's not the strongest lineup for your number 9s. But when you go and spend 40 million on one, Joe Linton, you think you're getting someone that can do that.
That's the thing. I think when you're spending that sort of money, you know, fair enough if it's a 10, 15, 20 million pound player or it's a kid, you give them a bit of slack. But yeah, if you're splashing 40 million on a player, you expect it. Oh, Newcastle have just equalised.
You are kidding. Go on.
No, I don't. I've just got the notification. I haven't seen it yet. You're going to have to give me a minute. I assume it's all standing and everything. I don't actually even know who scored the goal.
Not seeing anything anywhere.
Notification from where, Tobes?
Bet365 of all places.
Oh, I just seen some team news.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, now this is big, and it's not where you think it's big. Aubameyang is benched. Apparently. Yeah. Apparently, we have to wait till this is just come from from someone who's got the news. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's a minute early than we should have.
Yeah, we'll have the official news in a sec, but it looks like Aubameyang might be benched. And I fully expected Liverpool full 11. Like, I think it'll be the same for this match and Chelsea. The rest break is so long.
1-1, Toby. 1-1 You're right.
Oh, Matt Ritchie, is it? It's Matt Ritchie.
My boy.
It's Matty Ritchie. What a guy.
Okay, so you got St. Maximin. No, it's not St. Maximin. It's a really good run through the middle. Oh, it's horrendous defending from Aurier.
Oh, Aurier really?
Pretends to be shocked. Jeez.
Yeah. Aurier just goes to rake the ball clear, and he just fires it straight at Ritchie. It's a really good finish, actually, to be fair. Great left foot. But yeah, Aurier, it's horrendous defending from Aurier, I've got to say.
Matt Ritchie, remember, guys, who is the £5.3 million defender playing in a front three, but of course doesn't get the clean sheet tonight. Guys, we will have Liverpool team news and Arsenal team news within seconds, so do stay with us.
Aubameyang's benched.
Aubameyang benched?
That's official now. Aubameyang is benched. Cedric's playing right back. Rob Holding, David Luiz. I kind of wish I had Mo Salah right now. Reece Nelson, Saka, Pepe, Xhaka, Torreira. I mean, yeah, I think I saw a few people hold on to Salah. He's now not in top 10k. He's less than 50% owned, which is unreal for someone like Salah. I'm genuinely thinking about bringing him in again next week. But yeah, Aubameyang bench. They're obviously saving him for the FA Cup.
Oh, there's been a goal at Bournemouth. Okay, it might be disallowed.
Josh King ruled offside, I think.
Yeah. I think I undersold that Matt Ritchie goal, by the way. It's an unbelievable finish. He's smashed it in the top bin from 20 yards. It's flown into it's a postage stamp. It's a really good goal. Bergwijn just come on for Lucas as well.
Tobes, that Matt Ritchie goal reminds me exactly of the Ben Chilwell one we saw against
It was,
a few weeks back. It's
it
the same goal, isn't it?
really similar. Yeah, really similar. It's a hell of a strike, but he should never have been given the opportunity by Serge Aurier, who has. I don't want to say he's laid it on a plate because he hasn't by any means. It's a hell of a finish, but yeah, he should never have got the chance.
Wow, the VAR check at Bournemouth for Man City. So it's 2-0 Man City, 58 minutes gone. The VAR check on Josh King to John Stones. John Stones' heel props his last stud on his boot versus Josh King's toe. So
Yeah,
Stones'
it could not
heel
be any
versus
closer.
It's millimeters, isn't it, Andy?
It is, yeah. I'm just seeing the lines being drawn here. It is what you said, yeah. Back heel of Stones and the big toe of Josh King. So it looks like it's been ruled off. Very unlucky, I'd say that.
We might be seeing a margin of error next season. Let's hope so. Toes, back to you saying you undersold the Ritchie goal. You wouldn't be the first fan that's... Go on, I'll come back. What you got?
No, I was just going to say, how's Sterling's calf looking? Have we got any more news on that?
Yeah, how the socks?
Socks are looking great.
Oh, 2-1. Spurs have scored again.
Hey!
But I don't know who. Please be Son. I don't know who yet.
It looks like
behind.
Did Bergwijn start for Spurs, Tobes?
No, he's just come on for Lucas.
That would be a super sub. So yeah, what I was saying about Ritchie is, bloke scores against your team, and he scores a worldie. You just go, yeah, all right, tap in. That's kind of what Toby just did when a team scored against Spurs. Understandable. Yeah, it was all right goal. It's a worldie, mate.
Not sure Spurs definitely scored, like you said. I'm not sure who scored though, which is weird because usually everyone's. It's Harry Kane.
There's a lot of cheering from next door. There is a lot of cheering from next door. It's Harry Kane.
Wow, how bad are Newcastle?
Talk us through it, Tobes.
Right, Ben Davies has got the ball in kind of the left back slot at the moment. I'm a long way behind here. He's smoked it back to Sanchez. Right, here we go. Winks with the ball. Bergwijn's from 5 yards out, which Dwight Gale did earlier. That's the difference, isn't it? You got a top quality striker. He puts him away.
Guys, Liverpool team news, which we've forgotten amongst the Bournemouth Islau goal and the Spurs goal. So it's the very strong 11. It's Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. So the back four we're all accustomed to. The midfield three is Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and then the Ox comes into the Hendo role, who's of course injured. And then the front three, it's Mane, it's Salah, it's Firmino. Klopp is not letting anything go here, Lee. Is this an 11 you would expect to see now? Obviously, Arsenal is a big game, but we're not going to see a huge amount of rotation from Klopp, are we? We would have seen it by now if we were going to.
I don't think that we will. No, I've been saying this for a few weeks. You know, we're not rotating for anything. So we haven't got the FA Cup to worry about. We haven't even got to worry about really momentum coming into the Champions League or anything like that, right? So he's got 3 games, then they got a massive break, and then they got the start of the next season. For those 3 games, if we were to win all 3, we could break the Premier League record points. Why would you not play your strongest 11? So the only one that's missing, obviously, is Henderson with the injury. I'm kind of surprised that he's given Oxlade-Chamberlain another chance. Ox has not been good since the restart, really not. So it's an opportunity against his old team to really put in a decent performance tonight. I'll be keeping an eye on him, more from a Liverpool perspective than an FPL perspective. I maybe would have liked to have seen Keita in there instead. But listen, that is a strong 11. I've got Trent and I've got Salah in my team. And given the Arsenal lineup, I would like to think there's points in both of those guys.
Yeah, I think one thing Klopp did say about the rotation, he did say they don't just hand out places to anyone, and it was more because the games were quickly. Well, their next game is 7 days away after this. It's Chelsea. It's going to be full strength again. And then it's 4 days till Newcastle. And if Salah scores a few tonight and he's in for the Golden Boot, there's no way he's getting rested. So I think we're going to...
How many behind is Salah? Is he 4 behind?
Is it 4? I think it's 4. Yeah, I think Vardy's on 23 4. And he's on 19. So, I mean, he could get that against Newcastle. You never know.
Yeah, it's a big ask, but yeah, you wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, I've got Salah in my team, so I'm fingers crossed. I mean, I felt like I was talking yesterday about kind of captainers this week, and no one's really been talking about Salah as a potential captain. But that fixture, regardless of the team, wow, Bournemouth came close again.
They're really on top. This is basically what happened in the first half when City got their goal and they were just behind until they got their next goal. And again, Bournemouth are just playing better right now. I'm hoping I'm going to jinx it so Man City score in a sec again. But it's now, coming up to like 64, 65 minutes. So there's going to be more changes soon, you'd think. Unless Jesus isn't part of the FA Cup plans, you'd imagine he's coming off. Yeah, and just seeing the Bournemouth going, it's gone over the bar again.
Gosling has to score that, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was poor. Obviously, I think it came off defender. I think it came off defender or someone and went over, unless he hit it right into the ground.
It's gone out for a corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it was 1-0 Man City, KDB would be on by now, wouldn't he? Because Pep would be worried about, it's looking tight, Bournemouth are on top. But because of the 2-goal cushion, even though Bournemouth are playing well, you think he can still get away with potentially resting KDB?
Yeah, possibly. He only played 63 or so minutes of the last game, so I'm a bit surprised he's not on yet. But he could just be saving him for the FA Cup. Why risk it, I guess? It's not like they've got anything to play for in the league, but it is all Bournemouth, honestly. Man City just doing nothing. Like, they've got their 2 goals, and that just seems to be it, really. Probably need to make a few more changes.
Podence just wide for Wolves. It had a bit of a lull this game. There was a little bit of a niggle for Traore there. Looked like he might go off, but he shrugged it off because he's just an absolute beast. Podence gets it on the edge of the box, finds it just wide of Nick Pope's goal. Wolves ramping it up again, as we've said before in the first half. When they want to ramp it up, they can. I feel like they've got another gear in them. They're going to need to find it if they're going to get past Nick Pope.
No, but definitely would always be the better footballing team in that fixture between Wolves and Burnley. But are Burnley creating opportunities as they always seem to tend to?
Not so much since Jay Rodriguez has gone off, no. So the ball is sticking even less up there. I mean, even now, Nick Pope's goal kick is a pretty hopeful sort of punt forward towards Chris Wood with a kind of plea attached to it to say, please hold this up and take the pressure off the defence for a couple of minutes. But it's just not sticking, and Wolves are winning it back quite easily. Bolly has got the beating of Chris Wood in the air, no problem. He's finding the likes of Neves, Podence, and they're just picking it up and getting into nice areas. If I was to predict a winner, I would say Wolves, and it would probably be a slim win. But listen, I said it before, Burnley will be very hard to get past. So Nick Pope owners, he is racking up the save points, so it could be a 7 or 8 pointer for Nick Pope here.
Guys, just looking at the City lineup, I mean, Sterling is definitely playing as the number 9, and Foden on the right is mirroring Jesus on the left. So Pep is mixing it up a little bit just to trial Sterling down the middle. So for those of you that have got Sterling, he is playing as the number 9, and it might we have in the past seen Aguero playing in the 9 and Jesus left. Sorry, Andy.
No, it's fine. The weird thing is, like, he seems to have done that straight from kickoff in the second half. So it's like, we were on top 2-0 up. I'll try something different. It's obviously not worked for the next 20 minutes. So whether or not he'll change it soon, I can't remember a chance for Man City in the second half so far. So, yeah, he's definitely playing central. I've seen Jesus picked the ball up wide a few times in the first half, but that's not where he was playing. It's just where he drifted out to at times. But yeah, he seems to be he's out. He's out on that left side. Which is not good at all. I'm a little bit worried about that because he's going to come off soon, I'd imagine. So yeah, we need another goal here, I think, for owners, because with Salah captain has come in, Fernandes come in, Martial, like, it's a bit like Pulisic last night. It's great that he's got a return, but it's not enough, I would say.
You want more.
Looks like Rodri's about to come on as well for Gundogan. So if that's the only sub, because you can do as many as you want at half time, can't you?
No,
so this will be the first.
You can only do it at 3 times.
No, but half time doesn't count.
Yeah.
Half-time doesn't count, so this will be the first instance of a change. So I have 2 more after this, basically, and 3 subs total.
Okay, so if Gundogan's coming off for Rodri, for example, then there's 2 subs left, so potentially we could see Mahrez and KDB.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 instances of subs. There's 3 subs they could use. Does that make sense? There's 2 occasions, 3 subs total.
Yeah. But 2 have already come on, so Man City effectively have now made 3 substitutions. So if we see one more that's not KDB and Mahrez, then one of them isn't playing.
Yeah.
No, they've got 2 more occasions to make subs, and they've got 3 subs total. They've only made 2 subs. Oh no, they have. Sorry, they brought Garcia on, didn't they?
My bad. Glad this is clear.
No, my bad. I completely forgot about Garcia. I hold my hands up. I'm shutting up now. Sorry.
Andy's thinking, how does Gianni not know the rules?
Yeah, I'm trying to explain them to you. I'm mansplaining to you.
What do you think about the 5 subs for next season's been confirmed now? That's actually got some quite wide-reaching ramifications for FPL managers.
So we should say it's not been confirmed, I don't think. Yeah, it's basically... they can use it if they want... No, basically they've said you can use it if you want, but it's up to each individual competition, so the Premier League, the Bundesliga, etc., to choose whether they want to use it. So I'd say it'll go down to a vote. I personally... I don't think it's very good at all. I think it favours teams like Man City, Liverpool, Man United way too highly.
I agree.
And I don't think there's they've played now. They're gonna get out to match fitness again. Like, it was all because of the summer and it's hot. That's not going to be the same when they get back playing in September. So I don't like it personally. I don't really see too much of a reason to have it. So we'll have to see if the Premier League take it on or not.
Ashley Young in the comments, Andy's a fraud. Love it. Favourite comment of the night, Andy. I hope that might even be the Ashley Young. Who knows? There's no profile pic. So, Andy, we're seeing some subs at Bournemouth. Callum Wilson's
Wilson's
coming on.
Brooks
is coming on.
Yeah, positive changes, to be honest. And why not? Solanke's coming off. I'm not sure who the other one's coming off. But, positive changes. And why not going for it? I think they're actually making a triple change. So it's Brooks, Wilson, and someone else who I do not...
Cook.
Okay.
Lewis Cook.
Yeah, it might be. So Solanke's coming off.
Can we get a check on how many people bought Solanke in this week?
Oh, God. In fact, I will check that because I think it'll be funny. Let me have a look right now. Bournemouth, what are we looking at? Transfers in this round.
Those numbers always blow my mind.
337 people.
Oh, that's great. It's so good.
Love it.
Do those 337 watch football?
You wouldn't have thought so.
Probably not. There must be loads of FPL teams that literally just pick off, that have zero interest in the actual game, but love the FPL game and therefore just pick off the numbers, maybe?
Possibly. There will be people like that, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's Wilson, Cook, and Brooks on now. So, yeah, maybe going for it. I mean, what other choice do Bournemouth really have at this point than just go for it? They've been playing well. Try and get something out of this game. But yeah, it's unlikely, but you never know, I guess.
This is a quick update from Turf Moor, Gianni.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so Doherty, so we're in the drinks break now, second half drinks break, and Doherty is there, ready to come on. Don't know who's coming off yet. We'll wait to see what that sub is, but I'm telling you, it looks like Prudence might be going off, which is an interesting one because he's been the creative hub actually. So again, it's that they're going to switch formation. Obviously, they're going to move it back to the formation that I guess they're a bit more used to. And we're hopefully going to see Doherty bombing down the side. I tell you what, I'm going to be absolutely livid if this game finishes 0-0 and I've got Charlie Taylor and Doherty in my FPL.
That is harsh.
1-1.
Do you know what makes it worse? Guess who's on 3 bonus points currently for that game? Nick Pope, of course.
Pope.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
As it stands, we need someone like Cody to somehow get a goal. That's what I'm hoping for.
You know what? The saves that he's made, he will get a couple of save points, but they're not like world. And fair play to Nick Pope, he pulled off some absolute worldies against Liverpool, didn't he? But in this game, they haven't been worldies; they've just been long shots that he's fielded. But of course, in FPL, you get a point for that, or you get a BPS for that. So Nick Pope owners should be pretty happy right now, I would say.
And Toes, we've seen a few subs. Lamella's on for Lo Celso, and the saviour
the penalty.
is on.
Man City have got a penalty.
Oh, who's going to take this?
So who?
Gundogan
Jesus won it. Jesus won the penalty. Oh, do not miss this. Do not miss this. I'm not even going to get to watch it. I might just not look at everything and just watch the screen.
Who is on pens?
It could be another couple of days.
Who is on pens? Is it Sterling?
Gundogan's. It's got to be David Silva. Could be Sterling.
Sterling's going to take it. Sterling's going for the goal.
No. Disgusting, Sterling.
Is it a Jesus assist if he scores?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I don't know how I feel.
I feel great.
Definite pen, by the way. I'm watching the replay.
Look at Toby's face.
Should be the second one. This should be his second assist. So frustrating.
He's obviously going to miss, isn't he? Toby's going to miss.
He scored the last.
So intense.
VAR are checking, guys. I don't think. I think it's a VAR check.
Come on.
It's a definite.
I think I'm about to see it now. Let me see. Oh, come on, that's a definite. I can see that without even seeing it again.
Hang on, he gets the ball.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he gets the ball, but I could still see that being given, It's one of them.
I need to see the slow-mo.
He's coming from behind.
He should be given because the first one should have been given. They need to. That's.
If he gets robbed of another penalty assist.
Oh, Jesus stands on him. Jesus stands on him.
No pen.
That might not be given.
That's a pen. Bruno Fernandes did it.
They're looking at it. So,
penalty given, I think.
He doesn't get the ball, though, to be fair.
No, hang on.
No pen, people are saying. No penalty.
No pen.
No pen.
Oh, second one. Like, the defender whoever the defender is, like, I can't remember who that is now.
Do you know what?
It's Cook, isn't it, I think?
Cook, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus stands on him. Oh.
Was Sterling 100% going to take it?
Sounds like it,
I don't know if it was 100%. Mahrez was apparently in the background getting stripped off. So surely Mahrez, who obviously used to take them at Leicester, has taken them at City. Have we ever seen a player subbed on and then taken the spot kick? First kick of the
Yeah, probably. Vardy did it against Spurs and missed. He came straight with his first kick.
I can't believe
That's
VAR
two
has overturned.
Jesus assists.
Yeah, like
Potential.
fair enough that they don't give that. He stands on it. I'm still not. I mean, he doesn't get the ball at all, but Jesus does stand on him. But then the first one, should have been given.
So
Frustrating.
Doherty's come on for a 1-pointer. Charlie Taylor's gone off for a 1-pointer, and Jesus has missed out on 2 assists as my cat. This is not a good night, gents. This is not a good night.
I can't believe he's only got one.
Over to St James's, guys. Remember, it's Tottenham 2, Newcastle 1. Newcastle gone close again, Toby, to Lozano this time.
They've gone close a couple of times actually. He's just smashed one into Lozano just smashed one into the side netting. It's been a good game actually to watch for the neutral. It's kind of been a bit topsy turvy. Newcastle came out in the first half really, really good. Spurs kind of wrestled it back. This half kind of been the opposite. Spurs started pretty well, kind of got a bit of control back in the game. But yeah, now Newcastle kind of really in the ascendancy again. And as I said, they've created plenty of chances in this game. Lloris, I reckon Lloris has probably made 4 or 5 saves already in this game. But yeah, they haven't managed to break Spurs down again yet, and it remains 2-1.
Guys, I took the chat away very briefly from the penalty, and we should probably go back there a little bit. I want to get, Andy, your take on what we saw was the Bruno penalty, where Bruno obviously fouled. I can't remember who it was, and United were awarded the penalty. This was very similar, wasn't it?
Apparently, Jesus has just missed a sitter. This is getting worse. I can't take this anymore. I think I'm about to see it now.
Andy, the silver lining there, though, is at least Sterling didn't take the penalty and score.
I would have taken that, though. But not enough where it would have been worse for him to take that penalty. Because I would have got Jesus assist captain.
It was the Foden. Foden put Jesus through, by the way. I own both of these players.
Kevin De Bruyne is not coming on. Oh, Jesus has been subbed off, I think. I'm still waiting to see it.
That means Calvert-Lewin's going to see some minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to get, as it stands, I'm going to get Saiss on for 6 points, which I guess is not the worst thing.
For Jesus.
Oh, that's so frustrating. One return. He should have had more again.
So, just to confirm, the Man City subs, Mahrez is coming on, Zinchenko is coming on. So that's number 4 and 5 sub. So that'll be Mendy coming off and Jesus coming off for Mahrez, right?
Yeah, that means KDB can't come on, right? That's the point.
So the front 3 is going to be Sterling as the number 9. Mahrez will play on the right. And Foden, who is getting 90 minutes tonight, guys. And that so far on no FPL points, loads of FPL managers have been flocking towards Foden because of his price, myself included. He just set up Jesus, who looks really annoyed at being subbed. Understandable. They've got a semi-final. We need
because he should have had 2 penalties. He's well annoyed about it.
So yeah, back to the pen, Andy. Very similar to the Bruno incident, right?
I think I think both of them, at neither point were Jesus or Bruno Fernandes trying to stand on a defender. Whether that matters, I guess it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But the thing with Bruno is he turns. He's not looking at the defender at all. But then, because Podent's got the same. That's the same way Podent's got the penalty for Jimenez. Basically, he did a turn, and the defender was just in the way. Like the defender can't. It's a tough one because the defender cannot get out of the way. But at the end of the day, they fouled the player both times. So I'm not sure. I mean, Bruno does stand on him. So obviously that's a bit different. But he's not stood on him on purpose. I don't know what the defined rule is around that. There's obviously no intent. But yeah, I mean, I can see why everyone said it shouldn't have been given. Because he's literally turned and stood on him. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because he has stood on him, but he's obviously in neither...
Jimenez has just absolutely belted one in from nowhere on the volley. What a goal from Raul Jimenez. Unbelievable. It doesn't matter how many Nick Popes you've got in goal.
Get rid of Nick Pope.
Absolute beauty. Let me tell you, you need to see that in the chat. Get on BBC. Have a look at this goal. I'm telling you. So Doherty assist. Doherty running down the wing in the centre position. Doherty gets the ball in what I can only describe as a centre-forward position. He shoots. It comes off of Tarkovsky's backside. So actually, I'm not sure whether that assist is going to be given because the direction of completely changes. However, the finish from Raul Jimenez is unbelievable, guys. He's done nothing in this game, and he does what Jimenez does, which is get his goal. Absolutely incredible strike.
Gianni is fuming.
I'm absolutely seething. So I've just sold Jimenez and I'm a Doherty owner. So if Doherty gets the assist, it will be all right. But the fact Toby owns Jimenez, no.
I've just sold Jimenez.
I think it was I did think, I said it to you, Jan, I think, on WhatsApp, didn't I? It's a risk getting rid of Jimenez. It was a risk.
Yeah, although I guess Jesus came in and got the goal too, but Jimenez now will almost certainly get the 3 bonus because every time he scores, he gets a 3 bonus. That's just what Jimenez does. So the assist, how confident are we there, Lee? We saw a weird assist given to Martial a few weeks back. It sounds like it might be something similar where it touches the defender en route to the player who scores.
So that's not the case. So I'm not confident this assist will be given. So Doherty picks it up. He's like I say, he's in the number 9 position. He has a shot. And it deflects off of Tarkovsky's backside. And to be honest, it's like he takes a shot, but it goes at a 90-degree angle towards Jimenez. And rather than Jimenez taking a touch and figuring it out, he's just belted in a volley from absolutely nowhere. It's coming across him that way, and he's hit it that way. One of the hardest skills in football, and he's just pulled it off to a plumb. So I don't think it's going to be a Doherty
assist. It's been given as an assist. FPL have tweeted, yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I stand corrected then. I'm surprised, to be honest, but listen, I'll take it as a Doherty owner.
Am I right in thinking they've done that before, though? They tweeted and then they've gone...
Yeah,
they tweeted again
Jesus,
TBC.
I think.
They did it recently.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people saying
that... better about you. Sorry, Andy.
That's all right, yeah. Jimenez has gone straight, as we all know, when he scores a goal, he's gone straight to 3 bonus points as well. So it looks like a 9-pointer as it stands. He's even beaten Jesus. I mean, Jesus currently is on 2 bonus points, but the longer this game goes on, Stones is slowly creeping up and up. So Jesus might be down to 1 or 0 by the end of this.
And remember, guys, the winning if you score the winning goal, you go up in the BPS. So if it's 1-0 to Wolves, Jimenez scores the winning goal, he goes 1 up. But of course, David Silva got the first goal for City. In a 2-0 victory, the winning goal would be classed as David Silva's, not Jesus's. So he won't get that little burst that Jimenez.
Listen, David Silva's miles ahead.
You can hate on Jimenez as much as you like, but I'm telling you, that goal was worthy of 20 FPL points. It was an absolute beauty. It's probably the best I've seen since Project Restart.
Wow.
Probably makes you boys feel a bit better about having Taylor go off on 20 minutes as well, right? That probably eases the blow a little bit.
Actually, yeah, that does
definitely.
A bit better, Toby. Yeah, thanks, mate.
And I'm liking. I've got Sice coming on for Kevin De Bruyne as it stands, so that wouldn't be the worst thing if he gets a clean sheet. 6 points, matching Pulisic. I'll be okay with that.
Bournemouth. How have Bournemouth missed that? Really simple. Bournemouth's really unlucky tonight. So 10 minutes left, and it's
just past the post. Just Callum Wilson, yeah. Close again. Yeah, you're right. They should have had a goal in this game. They've been a bit
more
unlucky.
Attempts, probably more attempts than City.
Yeah, if I had to guess, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. What do we do, eh? Poor Bournemouth. I mean, you're thinking that probably. It's tough for them. Are they down? Do we think Bournemouth are down?
I think they probably
got
are.
2 tough games, right?
Southampton away. I mean, we're all backing Danny Ings in there, aren't we? And then it's Everton at home. Everton away is. Bournemouth are at home for Southampton. Then they're away for Everton. So yeah, I think it's going to be too tough for them.
Must annoy you if you're a Bournemouth fan. Like, they're clearly capable of turning it on. Like, they played. Obviously, sounds like they played really well tonight. They played Leicester off the park. They've obviously got it in them, but they've just not played at all.
Do you think they played Leicester off the park? I thought Leicester let them back in with a mistake, and then the second goal's a red card, and it's like.
Yeah, there is that, but I still think, to go up and to beat Leicester, was it 4-1 in the end? Is, especially when you're down there, it does show a bit of character, a bit of grit. Leicester did implode a little bit, but yeah, it would really wind me up as a Bournemouth fan to see them playing like they're playing against City, to know that they've got these type of performances in them, and they've just not showed up at all this season. It must be really disappointing to watch it as a Bournemouth fan.
Sure.
We should do a little bonus points update, knowing we're so close to the end of the game. I don't know if you guys have got it loaded, so I'll take you through very quickly. Currently on the BPS at the Spurs Newcastle game, Richie's on for 3, Son 2, Lo Celso 1, but it's very, very tight. Kane just behind that. Man City at the moment, David Silva's on 3, Jesus on 2. Stones is on 1. Okay, probably a lot of clearances in there. Bournemouth have been attacking. For Wolves, like we said, Jimenez goes straight up to 3 bonus. Vinagre, who remember is playing left wing back instead of Gianni tonight, and he's 4.2 million in FPL. He's on 2 bonus. And then Bolly and Sice and Patricio are all tied for the 3rd bonus.
Oh, is Patricio on a bonus point? Come on, Pat.
Yeah, although he's not made a single save tonight. No save points, and he's on for a bonus.
I think that's largely because whenever he's received the ball from any of his defenders, he's just knocked it wide, and that you know what it's like. You just get the pass completion points, don't you?
Yeah, crazy that for a goalkeeper that's even logged. I think that's. Newcastle on the attack. Toby looks like came fairly close to a penalty shout there. I don't know how much there was in that, but
okay, yeah, I'm not there yet, but Yeah, the game kind of feels like it's petering out a little bit. It'd been pretty sort of almost end to end for much of the second half. But the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, neither side really has shown an awful lot of attacking intent. It kind of looks like two teams that haven't got an awful lot to play for. No doubt I'll jinx it, and Newcastle or Spurs will go and get a goal now. But yeah, it feels like it's petering out a little bit. I don't think Newcastle aren't exactly throwing men forward, and nor are Spurs really.
Andy, are you on Mahrez and Sterling watch? The two blokes that good ownership, started on the bench. They're both on the pitch now. They done much?
No, I think I'm about to see a Foden miss. It's coming up. He's just brought the ball inside. Oh, so close. I think the defender's blocked it. I mean, people are saying, I don't know how he's missed it. I'm not sure it was that good a chance, but he was right in front of goal, like literally like 2 yards out. I think the defender's blocked it. Unless there's another chance coming. But yeah, not really seen much from Sterling or Mahrez so far, to be honest. There's only like 5 minutes left in normal time. Bournemouth on the attack again here. Callum Wilson coming forward. He's in behind, but he's just too wide, I think. Set Man City, yeah.
Do we all have KDB in our teams?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, who have we all got coming on there?
I was going to say, who's your sub? Who's coming in?
Mine's dreadful. Mine's Aurier, but who's going to blank? Well, 1 point. Andy, you've got Sice, did you say?
Yeah, because Nketiah is suspended, so yeah, I've got Sice coming on.
Yeah, I've got
Oh, guys, Foden does really well. I mean, it's a save by Ramsdale, but from the angle, it's not an easy shot, but he brings it down really well on good feet.
Yeah, it was a nice cut.
The assist there.
It wasn't Sterling or Mahrez. Let's just say that. I think it might have been Rodri actually.
He doesn't get many, does he? In terms of Foden, he's missing a lot of chances the last few weeks. We were here a fortnight ago, the game against, I think it was Newcastle, and he missed 2 or 3 easy chances. He's due a goal, isn't he?
Yeah, I've just seen that one back. So he cuts in really well, and he's basically got a shot straight. He's hit it straight around there, but he's hit it like it is chest. So I think if that was someone else, like if that was a Jesus or an Aguero, maybe even Sterling, that would have been on the floor. Like they wouldn't have, it would have just been straight on the floor, and it would have probably gone in because he wouldn't have been able to get down to it. So yeah, he's getting into the right position. Obviously, the thing with Foden is he did so well that everyone thought he was going to carry that on. And he's missed a few good chances. So you think a goal is coming, or maybe he needs to improve his finishing. I don't know.
Yeah. You'd think with him playing 90 tonight, he's probably not starting in the semi-final against Arsenal, which means he's probably going to play against Watford.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good news for Foden owners there that he's got 90 tonight. Lee, am I seeing that Raul Jimenez has come off? I think he may have been subbed.
Yeah, so double substitution. Yeah, 6 minutes to go. Dendoncker and Gianni have come on. Jimenez and Vinagre, who, as you rightly say, was on 2 bonus points, has really putting a shift down that side, to be fair to him, has come off. So, yeah, Jimenez, what a surprise. Gets the goal. Doesn't he always, right? Doesn't always explode. We've said it before. Is he a captaincy option from that perspective? Maybe not. But goodness me, he always gets his goal, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Wolves have still, I guess, they will see that they'll be looking and thinking, yeah, Man City, are going to be playing in the champs and it is still in the top 4. But it is still mathematically possible for Wolves to go, we can get 4th. We've got Chelsea on the last day. That's a 6-pointer. If United beat Leicester and Leicester drop more points, we could see it, couldn't we? Wolves get in top 4. It's slim chances, but it could happen.
We could do. I mean, obviously the Chelsea game is huge, but they need Man United to start dropping some points somewhere. And obviously they would have been licking their lips at that last-minute equaliser for Southampton the other day. But United need to drop points in what are, I think, winnable games for them. So I think if I was Wolves, I'd maybe be preparing for the Europa League again. But listen, funny things have happened. Goal
Brooks. David Brooks has scored. I have not seen it, but yeah, David Brooks has scored. That's going to be really good for Jesus bonus points because Stones is 1 point bonus point behind him as it stands. Yeah, and he's obviously going to lose the clean sheet. Mendy's going to lose it. Ederson's going to lose that. So Brooks is obviously going to come up a little bit now because he's only just been on the pitch 10, 20 minutes. I'm hoping he won't be anywhere near Jesus. So that could be really good for Jesus captainers, i.e.
And Jesus to winning goal, Andy. That if it finishes 2-1.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Good goal. So Wilson slides him in. Wilson the assist.
I'm not seeing it. It's still not come up here yet. But Brooks' goal.
They fully deserve that, though, guys, right?
They do, honestly.
It sounds like they fully deserve it.
Yeah, no, honestly. Without seeing the stats and stuff to see exactly how many attempts, like Gianni said, I would bet that the Bournemouth have had more attempts than Man City, and if not, it's extremely close. I'm just seeing it now. They've literally ball to put.
John Stones.
That's
John
ridiculous.
Stones.
They've basically, I don't know who it is. They've put the ball in behind down the left side. Wilson's just run past all of them, and he's just squared it to Brooks, who's unmarked in the middle. Like, could not miss that. John Stones, it looks like he's made a
John
mistake.
Stones out of position though. Like, it's quite a simple run to track that, isn't it, Andy? Callum Wilson, it's a long ball over. John Stones has just got to wise up. He's just a yard off the pace.
He's on the back foot basically. He hasn't read it, even though you can see that's about to come. It's a great ball, to be fair to Wilson. Like, he's curled that round the back of the defence, and then Brooks is unmarked in the middle. Really, really nice goal.
Oh, wow.
And fully deserved.
Bournemouth have gone close. It should be 2-2. Wow, what a finish we're going to see here at the Etihad. Still 2-1.
Yeah, I'm not.
If they get a point.
Now you've mentioned the bonus points thing. I hope they don't get another one, to be honest, because Mendy is still on 24, even with the clean sheet gone. But he's 5 behind Jesus now, so you think it would be difficult if it stays like this. I mean, there's 1 minute of normal time left, so it looks like David Silva 3, Jesus 1, 2, and then Brooks 1.
3-1 Spurs. I don't know who it is yet though. Got a minute to wait.
A solid
noise from next door. Who is it?
I don't know yet.
Is it Son and Kane still on the pitch, Tobes?
Yes.
Just seen the Bournemouth chance, by the way. Brooks puts a worldie sort of outside of the boot ball through. It's a bit like a Paul Merson, old school Paul Merson pass. If you remember, he used to love that outside of the boot.
That is nice. One of the defenders, it doesn't go straight to Wilson. One of the defenders, it hits off them.
Oh, 2 for Harry.
Who got the assist? The big question. Is it Heung-min Son or is it someone else? Lamella's on the pitch.
He is, yeah. We should be able to tell you in a bit. There we go. The break is on. Lamella with the break. Plays it forward to Kane. Kane holds off 2 defenders. Plays a great ball to Lamella. It's going to be a Lamella assist. There we go. Lamella is so slow. Cuts that. Yeah. It's Lamella assist. Lamella just fires it straight at the goalkeeper. Dubravka palms it out. Kane heads it home and also gets a boot in the chest after heading it home.
What do you reckon? Leicester at home, Crystal Palace away, last 2 games. Is it going to be a Harry Kane masterpiece?
Oh,
he does win at the end of the season, doesn't he, Tobes? He's always good at the end of the season.
He loves Leicester as well. He's got an insane record against Leicester. I think he scored like 7 in his last 5 games or something.
He was on loan there, wasn't he? He was on loan at Leicester. Him and Vardy on the bench.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great differential shout. He costs a lot of money, but at this stage of the season, he's in for a game or 2. If you're looking to make up a bit of ground, he's certainly a captain option. So yeah, definitely one to think about.
If you've got your free hit for 38, Kane's a good bet, isn't he? On a free hit.
I agree.
Against Crystal Palace, definitely, because they're him or Son, I would say, because Crystal Palace is just conceding goals left, right, and centre. By the way, Bournemouth are all over Man City. They could quite easily get a second one here if it keeps going like this. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Man City is struggling at this point to get out of their half. Like, it's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Edison's just put a long ball forward. Bournemouth have won the header and they're back on the attack now. I mean, it's not going to come to anything, but yeah, it's all Bournemouth, just like it's been for a lot of the game.
Does that show the reliance of Man City not only on you look at the back 2 today, the centre back, Stones and Otamendi not good enough, and then you look at the midfield without KDB, they're a different team, aren't they? There's no control there. Yeah,
it's weird though, because last season they didn't have Kevin De Bruyne and they just didn't suffer from that at all. This year, I don't know, they're just a different side with him, not in it. I guess David Silva's 1 year older, maybe he's not quite the. I mean, I don't want to say he's not quite the player he once was because he's amazing, of course. But
Bournemouth again are in.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Their expected goals apparently is 1.8 for this game against Man City. That's ridiculous.
It's incredible. What a performance.
Steve Cook's playing up front, by the way. Steve Cook with a knockdown from his latest chance.
Is he? Amazing.
4 minutes left. Steve Cook wins the header against Otamendi, as everyone always does, and it's a flick on. Edison does well to get there.
I think overall it's going to be considered a bit of a disappointment, isn't it, for Man City owners? Even if you've got players that have started tonight, they just haven't done enough. I think if you feel like you've got away with it, if you've got Sterling, you've got De Bruyne, you've got Mahrez, I feel like I've got away with it with those 3. I was terrified of tonight. You were thinking Jesus could have gone mad, Foden could have got a hat trick. I think you really, as a Man City owner tonight, you're going to feel hard done by.
Oh, Sterling's in here. He's going to pass the ball to. Oh, he's He's not in. He was passed the ball to Mahrez, but he played it behind him. So there's nothing Mahrez could do. He had to come back to grab it. So the Bournemouth have been able to get men back now. That's a poor ball from Sterling.
I would have rounded it off.
But yeah, I know. Go on,
Gianni.
It's going to be really interesting, isn't it? The Man City lineup we always try and predict, but we're really, as FPL managers, ahead of game week 37 plus, we're really helped out by the FA Cup. We can look at that team selection, see who gets what minutes, and kind of have a good chance of second guessing Pep, I feel.
But only for game week 38 though, because remember the FA Cup game comes after the deadline for 37.
Oh my goodness me. Chris Wood has missed an absolute... Sean Dyche cannot believe what it... Guys, you have to see this miss. You have to see this miss. Burnley have gone direct, to say the least, in the last 5 minutes. They are just lumping it forward and seeing what happens. Who is that gets out there? Is that Dwight McNeil? It looks like Vidra wins the header. Patricio misses it completely. Vidra wins the header at the back post. Chris Wood just has to tap it home. He just has to put the header. It's easier to score than to miss this goal.
I'm very happy as a size owner.
Popped that past the post. It is an unbelievable miss, guys. 93rd minute. Oh,
should say, by the way, I'm just because I'm looking at the bonus because I have size. Like Bolly out of nowhere has gone miles ahead now. He's 28, one behind Jimenez. So he must have hit like a passing thing or tackle thing or something. Like hit a target. He's gone right up 28 now. Yeah, milestone. Yeah.
I wonder. So if Burnley score there, your overall rank as a non-Wolves defence owner, like I've got Doherty, so I wouldn't get the clean sheet anyway, but it's pretty bad. Like, because loads have got Patricio, loads have got Sice.
Hold on a minute. Guys, hold on here. Hold on a minute. Are we going to have a penalty for Burnley in the 94th minute?
Come on.
Are we going to have a penalty for Burnley in the 94th? It's Mike Dean is the ref. The beard is on it, checking for a possible handball against Doherty. It does hit his arm. That is clear. And his arm is not in a natural position. I would say, if I was a betted man, I would say that is a penalty. I would say that is a penalty.
Okay, question to you.
That's going to be a killer.
Go on.
Do you like having Patricio as your goalkeeper right now, knowing he can get penalty save points, knowing he could lose his clean sheet?
No, I'd rather have the clean sheet bank, to be honest with you. If he saves a penalty, fantastic. But Chris Wood goes up for a bicycle kick, which frankly he's never going to get. Doherty just gets out of shape. The arm goes up in an unnatural position. I tell you what, if they equalise here,
full time at the Etihad. Carry on, Lee.
If they equalise here, it will be the biggest smash and grab ever. They've not been in this game for 5 minutes since the 86th minute. They've just gone direct and they've just lumped it up to Chris Wood, and they've had more attacks in that last 5 minutes than they have the whole game. But listen, if they get the penalty here, it could happen.
Who's on the
penalty? Who's going
to be on the pen? Vidra's taken pens before, isn't he?
He would, yeah, would it not?
Decision penalty. It is a penalty.
Oh, this is gutting. It's absolutely gutting.
Absolutely incredible.
Westwood on the pitch. He takes pens, doesn't he? Who takes them for Burnley?
It is going to be Chris Wood against Patricio, and I'm telling you, if he saves this, I'm going to go mental, and if he lets it in, I'm going to go mental. Chris Wood stepping up, guys. Bear with me. He's stepping up.
How do I record this screen?
I can do it after. Come on. Miss. A miss would be the best. No Patricio.
Put it in the top bin. Would you believe it? Chris Wood puts it top bin. Guys, honestly,
so
absolutely incredible. They've done nothing in this game, Burnley. Nothing in this game. Incredible.
That's what they do, though, isn't it? Smash and grab Burnley. They always find a way.
It's a bit weird. I've always thought it's a bit weird that players aren't punished with like minus points for giving away a penalty. I've always thought that's been an interesting addition to FPL.
Yeah,
it's a weird one though, Toby. I don't know without VAR whether that would have been given. You'd see that not given in previous seasons, but with VAR there, having a look at it again, he does get out of shape. I mean, even I was watching it full speed during, as it was happening, and I'm like, well, no penalty. And then you see the replay, and you're like, yeah, okay, not a natural silhouette, all the rest of it. But I'm telling you, it's proper smash and grab from Burnley. They have offered nothing in attack this game, and they've somehow going to get a point, and Patricio's clean sheet is gone. I'm devastated, guys.
It's great for overall rank. If you're a Doherty owner or don't have a Wolves defender, so Toby and I fit that bracket, it's brilliant for overall rank because so many have got Sice, and Patricio's got a fair bit of in terms of ownership as well. Lee, is the final whistle gone yet? It's gone at St James's, it's gone at the Etihad.
No, we're in the 97th minute of 95, and it's still going. Pope's about to boot it up the field, which is I mean, we had 3 minutes just debating the VR and the handball, so we're probably got another minute or so.
Jimenez is going to lose bonus for that. Well, he hasn't got the winner. Wood's going to get a nice healthy bonus there. That will be very interesting for Jimenez.
There it goes, full time, guys.
I think it actually
Full-time.
helps out
Back to
Jimenez
4,
because the
1-1.
defenders are all gone down now. So Jimenez is like 6 ahead of Wood, so he's going to be fine, I think.
Also the effect it has at the minus points on Wolves defenders, it's not a problem. I think if you're a Jimenez owner, as much as you want it to be, Gianni.
I was
there it
trying.
goes,
I was
full
trying. So, okay, we've got full-time whistles. So to confirm, Burnley 1, Wolves 1. Smash and grab by Burnley. Man City 2, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth had, I think everyone watching us now has probably had their eye on the City game, so I'm not going to tell you how good Bournemouth were. Newcastle 1, Spurs 3. Good signs there. Mourinho's boys back on track. We're starting to see a Mourinho-looking team, aren't we, Tobes?
Yeah, we are. They looked good for large parts of it. Still not completely convincing. Possibly deserved the win, I think. Newcastle a little bit profligate. Spurs actually really clinical. Kane didn't have many chances, but the 2 that he got, he put away. Same thing with Son, really. And that's kind of been the difference. I think both of them created probably a similar number of chances. Spurs just took theirs much, much better. But yeah, I have to say Kane and Son in this formation that has now been played twice on the bounce by Mourinho is looking a lot more deadly and a lot more fruitful for Son and Kane owners, I would have said.
Yeah. Andy, recap from the Etihad?
Yeah, just disappointing from an FPL point of view. Really disappointing for most people, I guess. Sterling doing nothing, Mahrez nothing. De Bruyne didn't even get on the pitch. I suppose De Bruyne is not necessarily the worst thing if you've got someone good on your bench, but I guess that all depends. Same for captain. Maybe if you've got him captain, Bruno Fernandes vice captain, that now looks pretty good. But yeah, I'd say disappointing to just get 2 goals, but Bournemouth very good. Outside of the 2 goals, Bournemouth were on top for a lot of that game. I'd say it's probably 50-50, maybe even slightly in Bournemouth's favour. Only does Jesus have more points, but also Man City would have probably been even more on top and Bournemouth's heads would have dropped a bit. So probably a bit fortunate there, but you can't fault them for the way they played after that. They were brilliant, to be honest.
What's interesting about Bournemouth is, like Norwich, we were looking at their fixtures and seeing who they were playing and going, I'm going to stock up on whoever's playing Norwich and whoever's playing Bournemouth. But actually, Bournemouth are showing signs that they're fighting for every last game in the Premier League. And I wonder now, if I was looking at Danny Ings, for example, with Bournemouth Southampton next fixture, yeah, Ings is still a good shout, but Bournemouth aren't going to roll over for anyone, are they, Andy?
Well, I tell you what now, it's interesting because a lot of people probably did what I did this week, which is Jimenez to Ings. Jimenez has just scored. He's probably going to get 3 bonus as well. Ings has now got to play Brighton this week, but then Bournemouth next week when Jimenez plays Crystal Palace. So actually maybe it's not looking so good now. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I think Southampton have just been so good though. I mean, the thing for Bournemouth is, and it's quite interesting how they're going to play it, is at some point they're going to have to just go for it like they did tonight. But do they wait before they go behind again, or do they just go from the start? And if they do, will that benefit Southampton because they've got to start picking up some points now? So I still think it's a good game for Danny Ings, but yeah, I guess the targeting of them, you still got to pick the right players. It just didn't work for Spurs or Leicester so far, or even to a certain extent Man City as well. So yeah, they played well.
Little recap from bonus points there. David Silva looks like he'll definitely take 3, and then it's between Jesus and Brooks for 2 and 1. At the moment, Jesus is on 2. Burnley Wolves finished 1-1. Jimenez is on for 3. Wood and Vinagre both on for 2. Matinho
Wood on for 2 bonus points.
Yeah.
Oh my days!
He's tied with
nothing
Vinagre
in that game.
He's the one to go for, I'm telling you.
Get the goal if you're a forward and you just jump up, don't you? And Newcastle Spurs finished 3-1 Spurs. The bonus points, Kane will definitely take 3. Looks like Richie will get 2. Son probably get the 1. Lo Celso's just behind him, but got fewer minutes. So I think Son's a banker there for the 1. Guys, it's been brilliant tonight. I mean, we didn't quite get the City sort of 5-0 I was expecting, but it's been great having your company. Are you back with us for the final day of the season? Are you guys available and ready for the call up, the big Sunday with 10 fixtures?
Oh yeah,
very much looking forward to that, mate. Be good. Yeah, really good.
It's going to be a good day.
It is. It's going to be crazy for FPL, isn't it? When 10 games all at the same time, there'll be the relegation, there'll be the Golden Boot, there'll be Champions League and Europa League places up for grabs. So yeah, loads of people will be on free.
Don't put me on Burnley, Gianni. I've had enough.
You can have first pick if you want, Lee. I think that see you've been punished for Burnley and you had some dross last time out as well. I think. Good stuff. Thank you all for watching Scoutcast Match Day. We will be back on the final day of the season. Do check out out FPL's Fantasy Football Scouts social media for all the other Scoutcasts that will be between now and then. And thank you all for watching. We look forward to seeing you in about 10 days' time.
See you later all.
Cheers all.